All right, we apologize, guys, for the inconvenience. Those of you guys yep, is now broadcasting live on YouTube. We apologize for the inconvenience on y'all missing some of the episode, but we're pretty much going to start it back over for you guys. No big deal. Gotta love technical difficulties. I'm going to verify that we are live. So we're doing Aviation Gin. We've already opened up the bottle. For the Twitch streamers that have already seen it, we opened up the gin bottle. This bottle is made by Ryan Reynolds. Hunter told me that Ryan Reynolds was going to be here.
I said we were doing a Ryan Reynolds.
Well, he's not fucking here.
I didn't say he was.
I've already poured off into the infinity bottle. I'm pissed off at you for fucking not actually getting Ryan Reynolds here. What the hell kind of shit is that?
Be all right.
So we've already poured gin off into our shot glasses. It smells peppery. It smells like straight up black pepper.
Smells like cracked black pepper, which I've never had that with a drink. I'm kind of nervous about. Hopefully it's not spicy. Not with the pepper.
And it looks like we are live on YouTube. Thank God, man. Thank God.
Just hope Twitch is still going. I know we heard from that.
Timmy.
Oh, yeah, Timmy. So hopefully everything's running with Twitch still. But yeah, let's go ahead and get this thing started.
So I'm sure quite a few of y'all are Deadpool fans. So y'all will probably like, hopefully, how this is going to go. I'm assuming you showed me the docket that you wrote, and you kind of want to tell a little bit about it, about his life story, stuff like that. You're not just wanting to just talk about Deadpool. We're going to actually talk about the actor themselves.
So with the suggestion, they pretty much told me that we ought to try out, celebrities that are partnered with a bottle.
We're still good on Twitch.
So we were doing the bottles, just random bottles, trying to get suggestions. We really didn't hear back from too many people. So this suggestion was that we should just try a celebrity-owned or partnered bottle, and we can actually go through the list because there's a lot of them out there. And they also told me that, to give off conversation piece instead of just trying to make up general conversation, we introduce, that person as well. We kind of give off a little bit of history, some of the stuff that they're involved with. And that way everything kind of runs and flows together. So we give respect not only to that person, but to their bottle as well.
Awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, Ron Reynolds, I mean, it's like you said, man, everybody knows who he is now. I want to say back, early when he first started, it might have been a little bit different. You just kind of known him as like the funny guy in some of the movies. He definitely landed some small roles. But yeah, I guess we'll get into talking like how he kind of first started.
All right.
So one thing I found out with him, he was born October 23rd. My birthday is October 21st.
2 days after your birthday.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did not know that. So he's definitely a Libra. 1976. So he's 48 going on 49. To me, that was kind of cool because, I forget which celebrity that we were talking about doing may have been somebody else, but they were somewhere near your birthday. So we were like, okay, like he's kind of what's his birthday if we do their episode.
The Rock is right around the corner from mine.
Okay, so it was The Rock then.
Yeah, and that's why I'm picking him.
Oh, I see how it goes.
Next episode, is that why you picked Ryan Reynolds?
I didn't know until I got doing a little bit of research,
And you're sure he's not coming? Like, it's not like Jess is going to be like, hey,
I mean, I would be down if he came, it would be cool. But yeah, I didn't reach out to him, I wasn't able to. I don't have his phone number in my back pocket.
So you're not like just fucking with me and he's going to like show up?
I mean, I can get like a 3D cutout if that's what you want and just kind of prop him in.
Ryan Gosling is amazing. Oh, man.
All right, I think I need to take a shot on that.
Yeah.
Oh. That black pepper definitely hit up front.
Yeah.
It faded away quickly though.
Wasn't hot.
No, it tasted like gin, like midway through. Like I said, I got the pepper. I thought it was gonna be real spicy with like a pepper spice, and then it just went away, and then that gin flavor come in. It's still different. Like I've never had anything with like a pepper taste. but it's not bad.
It straight up smells like cracked black pepper.
Yeah, 100%. I didn't believe you, but yeah.
Oh. All right, so uh, I guess to give a little bit of background, so of course everyone knows he's fucking Canadian. He doesn't let anyone forget that he's Canadian.
Or bash on Canadians.
But something that I learned doing a little bit of research before we had started
Yep.
was that he's got Irish and Scottish heritage.
Yep.
So that tells me the motherfucker could probably drink.
Yeah.
And by that as well, there was a statement that he had made about this Aviation gin. And he claims it to be the best gin, hands down, that he's ever had. So he's pretty much said that he is a gin connoisseur.
Okay.
He has said that he's had every gin known to man, which I think is probably next to impossible. But hey, who do we know?
I mean, he's probably definitely had a lot more gin than a lot of people. I know I've only had just a couple of different ones. Amsterdam was one of the ones that I was kind of leaning on all the time. I guess my review with gin and just general would be that it will make you sweat if you drink enough of it. It's the only one that'll actually make me sweat.
Well, I remember drinking New Amsterdam gin with you.
Yep.
And you used to like to mix it with Powerade.
Yeah. We're going to have to bring that on one day.
Yeah.
I'll be down with that. But yeah,
Philip says that it would probably go amazing with a steak.
With Ron Reynolds, I could actually see that. I can see him eating with a steak.
I just have a thing about like eating on camera. It's just kind of. I don't know if I'd want to have a whole ass steak dinner.
What I would do is
I would for sure try it.
I would do it with the episode, do our normal episode, drink or whatnot. But afterwards, if there's still a bottle left, because there's always food after. We always supply that. If there is a guest, they always are fed. We try to make that happen.
You already know how Lip is. If Lip was here and we had the steak and we were pairing it with the steak, like what he's talking about.
Oh yeah,
he's gonna caveman that shit.
He would have the drink here, steak here.
No fork, no knife, just straight up caveman in it, and maybe turning the damn cup up.
Maybe a side of butter to the side as well.
A stick of butter.
Gotta love you, man.
Oh man, I'll eat everything on camera.
We know. We'll have to get you back here. That bottle's starting to look good. Do you actually want to show it? I guess.
Yes. So, second drunk doesn't remember. So, stand-in second drunk, Philip Kennan, that is commenting. He became second drunk on the New Year's special that did not get aired. Man, I love how that's becoming a thing. To where we call it the New Year's special that doesn't get aired. We mixed it with dark chocolate wood chips. It's got a few more weeks.
I think you told me around the 7th of the next month, February 7th.
Yeah, February 7th, and then
that weekend. Yeah.
After that, it'd be like Valentine's weekend that it'd be ready to completely 100% try, and we'll be having Lip back on. I'm drinking on some Johnny Walker. Oh yeah. Man, that's ironic that you say that. One of our next episodes coming up is going to end up being Scotch. And we're going to be getting some cigars.
Oh, yeah.
We talked about that.
Yeah.
So we're going to get some cigars and some scotch. And the cigars, one of the cigars that we were recommended was the Maker's Mark one.
Which
that I would really like to try to find.
They look expensive. I'm not sure, but I'm definitely down to try those because I've never heard of that before. I've had maybe 2 or 3 cigars. But I really don't smoke cigars. So it's a difference for me. But I mean, it's one of those experience moments. And if you compare it well with something, you're going to get a lot of flavor off of it. So I'm kind of curious to see how that episode is going to go.
So, most people, when they become actors, they go through some type of like drama class or they get acting lessons, stuff like that. Did you know that Ryan Reynolds actually failed his drama class in high school for missing too many days?
I actually like this because I did my research and you kind of did your research. So we're both kind of figured out what the other one knows. But yeah, I did read about it. I thought it was funny, but I mean, there's a couple actors out there that it's like that they just kind of either they failed or they just dropped out.
Well, we were watching, what was it, last night? We were watching Are You Smarter Than a Celebrity?
Yeah,
And remember, most of them didn't have majors or minors in
nah,
drama or acting or whatever. One of them had what literature
yeah,
was her major,
yeah. The comedian, yeah.
and then one of them was like political science or something like that.
No, it was art.
Art.
She said that science was she was a no go on it. Like,
Okay,
don't
yeah.
pick it.
Crazy Alice is a delightful cigar. Well,
Hey, we'll add it to the list.
hey, if that, you know what, Lip? We're trying that on your podcast night. But it's literally just a sample. So if we want to switch over to scotch that night after we try the sample, we're just trying it. Really, that's only a one drink type thing, anyways.
Yeah,
Yeah, we can switch over to scotch. We can do some cigars.
down. I mean, that's cool with me.
Um,
But yeah, I mean, going back to like with them actually doing classes and stuff like that, it's funny to see like so many actors say that they either failed out or they just dropped out and they went and found something that helped them further in their career, and they're actually successful. It's not all of them, but you do hear about stories like that versus the ones that actually went through and made it and are pretty much about even. It's like to me, it kind of makes me think of like college. Like some people don't go to college, some people do go to college, but they usually end up about the same. So like me
yeah.
and you are that way. You skipped out on college, but you had a job that you ran off to. So I mean, I don't blame you there. I went to college, but I don't use my degree. So like I said, it kind of balances itself out.
They say nowadays that like it's not worth going to college.
Nowadays,
it's not
yeah.
worth to have it on a piece of paper.
Nowadays, yeah, but that's not what they used to say when
yeah.
we were in school. We're getting old, man.
You gotta love how that works. So like people that were born in like the early 1900s,
Yeah.
Like your grandparents and stuff, like they didn't go to college more than likely, right?
I thought,
But they were able to get good career paths and be able to make something of themselves. Well, then it was a generation that, okay, you should go to school. And then that generation was like being forced to go to school. Well, then the next generation, oh no, school's not worth it.
Yeah, I've
And
been
then
there. I
our
did take that
generation,
route.
school's worth it. And then now the current generation, no, school's not worth it again. It's like
To me,
it skips.
to me, it's like a parenting thing. It's like having your parents over you. I don't know, this is a test subject to humor. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, he kills it every time. He's the same person just about because it's almost like Billy Bob Thornton. Billy Bob Thornton plays the best asshole, and he plays the same character just about.
I want to know if that motherfucker, if wherever he works, like whatever movie set he works on, if they have to pay for his fucking cigarettes.
No, I'm pretty sure that's included in the contract as much as he smokes on camera.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm saying, does he have to pay for him? Or does the company that he's working for at the time, the production company he's working for, have to pay for him? Because, like, Bad Santa, he smokes Marlboro Reds. Landman, he smokes Marlboro Reds.
You're naming off stuff. I would just say all of it. I've never seen him without a cigarette. At least maybe one or two.
Always.
Yes, I'm saying like I've never seen him without one. But
like they have to build a fucking character around this man.
And you hear it too. They always say this was made for him, and this is coming from the people that actually like the writers and stuff. They actually wrote him into it.
He was told to act that way.
Maybe.
No, I don't think he was told to act that way. I could 100% believe that he fits the character that he is.
I think that
he always plays the same character in everything he does.
I think
he never plays on anything.
I think it was an image thing. I think it was like he first started out, people saw that, and he hit something big. I have to go back. Hopefully, he has the bottle or something, so we can kind of do his episode too. But
do you remember that movie is it Monsters World? It had Holly Berry in it. And they had a sex scene in the movie, but he was an asshole in that movie. And that was right around the same time as Bad Santa.
I can see that. Like,
he Twitter that he was a test. Oh, he's okay. So you're still talking about Ryan Reynolds? Okay, I thought he was talking about. Billy Bob Thornton. Sorry, we're kind of going off
We're
of
clashing.
Ryan Reynolds for a moment. This is supposed to be all about Ryan, but
So I guess trying to lead back into where I left off with the class thing. Yeah, you're right. So with my family and stuff, I think I was the first to actually go to college. I know some, I think, went to like an IT almost, kind of like a little program where they actually did work. But I was the first one to go to college though. But yeah, you hear about people not going, and it's like the pros and cons of going and not going. But to me, it always levels out. It depends what you're going for and how motivated you are to doing something. Because if you want to learn something, you don't necessarily have to go to school and learn it there. You can figure out, you can get experience elsewhere, actually doing the work. So time tells, that's pretty much how I can say it. And yeah, it was a little back and forth. I kind of screwed up throwing Billy Bob Thornton's name out there. Like I said, hopefully he has a bottle we can kind of hit on and hit back up on him because that's a big one there.
I want to backtrack for a minute. We had some shit talking going on when we were trying to get our lives together. So if you were watching us on Twitch, you got to see everything from the get-go. You got to see the intro. You got to see all of it. For some reason, YouTube decided to be retarded tonight.
They wanted an exclusive press button, like, please press me to go live.
YouTube decided to be bougie as fuck. Normally it's Twitch that wants to be bougie.
Yeah.
Like, hey, make sure you change your stream name.
If our viewers know us so well, they would know that we always run into something.
Always.
And it's like,
so anyways,
it's like we figured out Twitch though. We finally get on track with it to get it set up right, and then it's YouTube. That's our luck.
I'm glad that the comments are dwindling or like combining together.
Yeah, so y'all don't know this.
Super cool.
So the viewers watching right now, y'all don't know this. We have one big chat set up, so we see YouTube and Twitch.
We are dual streaming.
I said that.
We found the best of both worlds.
Because I know we said it for our Twitch viewers.
I don't think we said it for YouTube.
You reminded me just now that somebody got cut off.
YouTube meet Twitch. Twitch meet YouTube. Y'all are live together.
Yeah, y'all can't see each other's comments, but we see y'all's. So no matter what platform y'all are, whether it be YouTube or Twitch.
We had some haters on YouTube, okay?
Oh, shit. Hold on. Let me check this out.
So we had 5 of them waiting for us to start. So, Cosmetech at 8:01. At 8:01. So we started on time. We started on time tonight on Twitch.
It was at least 5 after. I know that. I'm not going to do that. No.
All right. So, anyways, at 8:01, we ain't got all day. At 8:01, Decoy, come on, you slow pokes. Decoy, slow mode. I feel insulted. So someone deleted something there. Cosmetech must have deleted an insult at one point. Decoy says, "Don't make me call Tater." Well, then Tater says, "Hurry up, we're waiting." Is that better now? Everyone know who it is. And then we are caught up to where we currently are. YouTube.
Oh, wait. I think Decoy was talking about this, whatever that is.
Can you figure out how to turn that on? Or send a message every 10 seconds?
It might be a new
Twitch.
Might be a
safe. It took forever for y'all to start.
That might actually help us. Now that I think about it, because we have had run-ins with like some people that just want to comment stupid stuff or try to spell.
Yeah, this actually helps the moderators a little bit.
You can only comment
one thing every 10 seconds. You know what? Leave slow mode on.
I like that. So sorry everybody.
Sorry, Zach Popes.
Yeah.
Go ahead and call him out tonight.
Twitch, Tater, they don't think Twitch can read your comment, but we can read it for you though.
Yeah, Tater says, "Hello, Twitch. It took forever for y'all to start." No, Twitch got it early.
Yeah. YouTube acted up. It was YouTube.
You were on the wrong platform.
Oh shit.
Oh man.
All right, we got to get back into it. We're gonna definitely go over on this one.
Yeah. We probably will. We're not.
This is for our viewers, though. We're having a good time with y'all. Y'all keep commenting and talking to us, please.
All right, so let's go straight back to the docket. Um, so
Next one.
he's currently married to Blake Lively.
Ooh, yeah. I'm with you on this one.
Has been married to her since 2012. Now Blake Lively.
11. Oh,
No,
you said
no,
married.
he divorced.
Married.
He got divorced from Scarlett Johansson
Yeah.
in 2011 and started dating Blake Lively in 2011.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. He married her in 12, yeah.
Why the fuck would you want to divorce Scarlett Johansson is one thing,
I want to see if you actually got this other one.
but then you're married to fucking Blake Lively.
But you didn't have it in there.
So he has. Now I'm shocked he never had, because he was married to Scarlett Johansson for a few years.
Yeah.
But they never had any children.
It was like 2008, 2010. I
So, yeah, 2011.
Yeah.
2008 to 2011.
2010 is when they started separating. 2011 was when it was
When it was
finalized.
final.
Yeah, you're right.
But they had no children. But now he has 4 kids, and they're all with Blake Lively.
All right, so I'm gonna test you out here because you asked me like a little trivia. Did you know that he was actually engaged to Alanis Morissette before Scarlett Johansson?
Yes.
I read,
didn't add that in there. I almost added it into my side of the docket. But I have to share with you.
Yeah, I mean, so this is what I like is that both of us did a research. We can kind of see what the other knows. But yeah, this is what makes Ryan Reynolds.
BB is an echoey bastard.
Well, he talks real loud. He's probably pick up on my
Yeah, I
mic.
probably am picking up in Hunter's mic. I got excited tonight because we were supposed to have Ryan Reynolds tonight
Appreciate it.
because of fucking Hunter. I'm salty. And don't you fucking offer me a peanut, because I know how your fucking sense of humor is.
I wasn't gonna
You're salty. I'm salty. You're not salty. I'm salty.
see. These are my peanuts. I wouldn't. I get the joke, but yeah, I wouldn't.
I'm about
offer
ready
you.
for another drink because you got me mad again. My blood's boiling again.
But going back to like Ryan Reynolds, this is something like that makes him him. Is you look at all the women and stuff. It's only been 3 that's been reported. You know, Alanis Morissette, Scarlett Johansson, Blake Lively. Now, all 3 of those girls, they
Drop
were
dead gorgeous.
Yeah, I mean,
all 3 of them.
Alanis Morissette, I haven't looked here recently, but at the time when they got together, because it was like all back to back.
I don't understand how you can ask Scarlett Johansson for a divorce.
I think it was on both ends. I don't think it was on
Yeah,
him.
but you get what I mean, though. Like,
you do just
but
about
Blake
anything to save
Lively
it.
as well in that same thing, because like, you know, I loved her in Simple Favor.
Yeah, I mean, I forget it was Green Lantern. Green Lantern is when they first met, and there's movies out there that you hear with actors.
Slow down.
I get that. I'm just saying with leaving the movie
Easy,
out.
boy, easy.
Leaving the movie out, you hear like actors and stuff, they meet up in a certain role, and it's like you see them on screen, they get together, and you're like, wow, they've been together since this movie come out. And
Yes, my blood's always boiling.
yeah. I mean, I understand if she's talking about Scarlett
Yep.
Johansson. That's
I'm hot. I'm always hot. No, she was talking about that you got my blood boiling. I needed another drink because you got me fucking angry.
it's like else.
Sounds like a healthy. Yeah, it's called high blood pressure.
Yeah. Lip knows all about this. He's like, I've been there in person.
Yeah, Lip knows how I'm here, but I'm there.
It only takes a couple hours
And
and,
then
everything
it can
kicks
be,
in.
I'm going 90 to nothing, and then I just fucking crash. But I'm so fucking headstrong at the same time.
Yeah.
Things have to go a certain fucking way.
This is why we have to have guest people. Please. Don't leave me here, Bob. So.
I'm still pissed at you. Kill him live.
I'm going to hear that for the whole next week or two.
Yes.
Until we do another episode. I'll put it that way. Until we do another
No,
episode.
you're probably going to hear it on the next episode too, because I'm that fucking mad.
He will.
Ryan Reynolds was supposed to fucking be here. That's what you told me.
No. I said we're going to do a Ryan Reynolds episode.
Which in turn says he would be here.
That might be true.
You have a B12 deficiency.
So I got to remember that we kind of have to read these comments out because Twitch and YouTube both don't see it.
Yeah, we do. So that's going to be kind of fun.
Yeah.
So we got to make sure we're doing that. I guess we haven't had any. Okay, so as of right now, we don't really have to kind of say what's going on because it's only our YouTube people commenting.
But yeah, I agree with Lip. I think you might have a B12 deficiency. I'm not really smart in this little category, but yeah, I can see it.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Actually, no. The last time I had blood drawn for my high blood pressure that I do actually have, it breaks down what vitamins you're deficient in.
Mm-hmm.
And that B12 was not one.
Sure, they just say that so you're,
He was on the screen with the bottle. Wait, hold on. Whose side are you taking here, Philip? Are you taking my side or are you taking Hunter's side? Because yes, that's what made me fucking excited. Hunter showed me the logo.
Oh, the intro, yeah.
Showed me that. And I was like, fuck yeah, you got Ryan Reynolds. And he didn't tell me until we pressed start tonight. And he was like, dude, he's not coming.
Well, you took it the wrong way. You never asked me, is he actually coming?
Whose side? Okay, whose side are you guys on? Who would you, with him being on the fucking logo and stuff or the thumbnail
intro,
what would you guys think? Would you not think that Ryan Reynolds was going to be here? Like, whose side are you guys on? Pick a side. Do an H for Hunter, do a B for me. Y'all comment whose side you're on.
Neutral, because technically that was his appearance.
No, he's been a drunk.
Right.
He knows how this goes.
All right, so you've been talking about your side the whole thing. I almost speak my side. So when I did the intro, the picture and all, what I was getting at was we're hitting his bottle. We're doing a normal episode. We're hitting the bottle, but also we're doing his backstory on Ryan Reynolds. So why would we not include his picture on the intro? Because we're doing both. We're talking about the bottle, giving our description, our review of it, and also his history. I mean, I had to include the intro. I get where you're coming from to where you saw a picture and you just immediately thought in your head, don't know why, that he was going to be here.
It's what you showed me.
But you never
were like,
brought it
hey,
up.
BB, check this out. And I'm like, man, that's cool.
Most people would have been like, oh shit, he's coming? And I would have been like, no, it's just the bottle.
No, I just assumed you had connections for once.
Oh, see, he assumed, he made an ass out of you and me.
Fucking happens.
Yeah. We're assholes.
Anyways, I'm going to be so mad at you for a very long time.
All right, so we talked about the women so far. I think we hit on all of them. What do you got here next for?
All right, so I'm going to hit you with some more, another fun fact. All right. So did you know that he has a fear of something?
I did read. What I read on it, it wasn't official. Somebody said that it was reported that he went skydiving.
So you know where we get all of our information from, right? We get, or at least me. I get all of mine from IMDb.
I do about 4 sources.
So you went 4 sources. I just went IMDb. Normally you can trust IMDb.
I get where you come from.
Wikipedia,
You can't, because people can edit that.
IMDb is similar to Wikipedia to where it can be edited.
Canadian
connections.
Something like that.
You're not fucking Canadian, eh?
No, but he is Irish and Scottish, or he has Irish and Scottish ancestry.
Yeah, whatever.
Lip, you heard that. Irish and Scottish ancestry.
We're going to have Lip looking into Ryan Reynolds' last name and telling you what it was.
Reynolds, Reynolds.
Like that, you're going to have that happening here in a minute. Good going. And then you just spelled it out for him. It's going to fucking be.
What do you think I was getting at when I
minute.
saw the ancestry? He was the one that hit me up with, what's your last name? I'm down with that.
I thought it was only if it had a Mick in front of it. Or a Mac, however you want it to be.
Whoa, that's prejudice, man. Just because you don't have a mech in your name, I mean, you got to go there.
So you're offended now, huh?
Lip, do I have the right to be offended on that?
Yeah,
I'm not sure. I'm not Canadian.
Philip left Mick off of his name, if you notice.
I wouldn't give my whole last name on YouTube. I wouldn't do it.
Go Team McKinnon. See, and he put an I, Matt Kinnon. He put an I instead of an E-N-N-O-N.
So again,
It's K-I-N.
he didn't give his full name, like his actual name.
Yeah.
So I get that. Like, I'm not that. To me, that is your name that you want to go on online. We're still going off topic, but
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
All right. So anyways, so you talked about, you already knew what I was asking you.
Yeah.
But so it's not confirmed, but he apparently could potentially have a fear of flying, which I don't understand why it would be a fear of flying, which is kind of why I see where it could be unconfirmed, because it wouldn't be a fear of flying, it would be a fear of falling.
Or just,
If you really think about it,
well, yeah,
or heights, it would be, to me, it would be a fear of falling
yeah, I
because
agree.
his parachute potentially did not
True lip.
release.
Yeah.
So to me, that would be fear of falling.
I get with that because I mean,
Dude, this dude has to fucking fly all the time. If you really think about it, he has to
But-
fly all over the world.
you get where I'm coming from though. Like, I have a bad experience with apples, and it continues. You know, I can, well, not apples in general. I can eat regular apples, but when it comes to liquor or alcohol, anything with apple in it, it doesn't sit well with me. Now, I'll go back as far as say I had a bad experience. Say it never happens again. It's just that experience. Anytime I see the word apple, I'm not going to do it. With him, if so, the incident was that he went skydiving. His first parachute did not open. His second one did, but not the first one. So,
That's
given
some scary fucking shit right there, dude.
yeah, I agree with that. If it's
And that's
real,
something you want to do. You want to
Oh, yeah, 100%.
skydive.
yeah, I do. I
You
had the
fucking-
chance.
Could you imagine the brown stain in those fucking pants when he got down?
Yeah.
Like fucking free falling. You pull the first cord
And nothing.
and nothing, and you're like,
fuck. Where's the extra?
yeah.
You know?
And there's probably some sort of panic
Oh yeah, there is. Yeah,
that absolutely happened, and then you're like, fuck.
because you know these guys when you do skydiving, they do a training course with you. It's real quick. They have the board, they have the little word, and they tell you what each word stands for. So like, you got to think like when that happens, when the first one doesn't come up, you hear every word that he just said, and that's all you're thinking about. Gotta do this, gotta do that, gotta do, and you're trying to hurry up, and you're like I said, you're gonna panic. Yeah, it's gonna happen. But what I'm getting at is he had a bad experience with that. So say everything's true. He had a bad experience with all that. So him being on a plane is going to remind him of what all that happens. I can see him having like a
I'd
panic
probably
attack.
freak out if I was on a plane that had the door open. That would kind of be a thing. Maybe turbulence. I could potentially get, okay, if you're flying through some turbulence, that maybe that kind of brings something back in your mind, and you're like, oh fuck, something's going on here.
So it's like Lip just said. That's just being scared of heights with extra steps.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It is, but that's why I called it a fear of falling,
Yeah.
not a fear of heights.
Because you can go up, say a building, you can go way up in the air. You're not nowhere near a plane. You're not on a plane. It's not gonna it's not gonna hit that memory.
You know, like you hate them dreams, you know, that
Oh, yeah.
where you're in the middle of a dream, and then you remember that scene in Nightmare on Elm Street
Yeah.
where dude's just raising up, and then he fucking collapses into the bed, and then it fucking eats him.
For me, when I have that fear of
Having
like
that fucking dream to where you're falling and you wake up falling,
when
but you feel like you landed back down on the bed, but you're probably there the entire time. We're like,
yeah, for me, like when I have that dream, because I do have it, it's every so often. Even as a kid, being an adult now, I still have it. And anytime I do have it, the first thing that happens is my foot kicks and it jolts me, and I wake up. But I have that same reaction. Like I could feel everything falling, and then my foot just kicks, and I wake up, and I'm like, oh, wait, I'm still in bed. Like, fuck, now I got to go back to sleep.
Let's take a break from the docket for a second. We have to make our mixed drink tonight. You are supposed to read me the ingredients, and I'm supposed to make the drink, but I don't know what I'm making. So you're gonna have to explain what it's called, because you kept this top secret.
Yeah.
You didn't put it in the docket what the mixed drink was called.
And
You didn't put the ingredients to
Oh.
the mixed drink.
so I went out and we bought a couple things. I put it together.
You literally made me go and shop on my own
Yeah.
when we went to the store earlier, and I knew nothing
You
of
just know-
what was here. And you've kept it bagged up. You bagged it.
Yep.
And I've only been able to face this direction.
Yeah.
the entire podcast so far.
It's funny because he keeps asking me what the name is, and I won't tell it to him. I think it's pissing him off at this point. I wish I was there. I would drop a fucking graph on fear of height. Yeah, like I said, I have a fear of heights when you hit a certain level. You know, I'm good on, say, a house. I've been on roofs before. Like, I'm fine with that.
Well, this would be some fucked up shit. Hear me out. This would be some fucked up shit. We're getting ready to make a mixture.
Yeah. I was just trying to answer his question or his comment.
No, I know what, but hear me out for a second. Lip's comment. If I were there, I would draw up a fucking graph on fear of heights. Lip literally lives right down the road and could show up at any moment. So Lip could be like, fuck it. I'm going to the house and I'll be in the studio here in a minute. So Lip, at any point, we could get silence from him commenting and he could just fucking show up.
Right.
Lip has that open invitation to kind of just show up.
Yeah.
He would normally tell us when he's going to be here. But Lip, you could just show up. I'm just saying. We don't have the third mic set up, but you could potentially show up. If you want to be involved in this, fucking go ahead, bro.
Be as fuck. But yeah, I have a fear of heights when you hit a certain level. So with house and stuff like that, being on a roof, I'm cool with. You go further than that, it's going to depend. Going back with the drink, however, yeah, I did not tell him the name. He keeps asking me. I won't tell him. I just told him we'll do the podcast, and in the middle of it, he vouched to make the drinks. He wants me to tell him how to make it, and I told him, I said, I like this. I'll give you your ingredients. I'll give you how much you want to pour into, and after we make it, I'll tell him the name of it.
So I'll grab the bottle.
Yeah.
And I guess you grab the ingredients. And we will make it. Actually.
Wait, I'll say about the mic, and I kind of voice you in. You can kind of hold and show.
So you're going to let me look at the ingredients now?
Yeah.
All right.
And maybe you can kind of figure out what this might taste like. You know.
So you're not going to tell me the name of this?
Not till after, no.
All right. So I'm going to keep our glasses here.
Again, we have them labeled drunk 1, drunk 2, so we know which one's which.
I want to keep our glasses on the table. All right. What do I need first?
Well, you're going to need some ice. We have ice.
Okay. We have ice.
Good deal. Good handful ought to do it. Yep. There we go. Alrighty. So now that you're looking at what we actually have, I'll let you read the ingredients that is over here in the corner.
All right, so he has me cranberry watermelon. You gotta be joking my ass. Come on, bro. I ain't fucking joking. Cran watermelon. So is that what it was supposed to have been?
So this one was cranberry, but I'm not really big on.
You don't like cranberry.
Yeah, I'm not a real big fan of cranberry.
Cran apple, and you don't like cran grape.
Cran grape's too strong now. I like watermelon. Now I've never had cranberry watermelon. So,
Me neither.
So I'm wondering how this is going to go. This is going to be a little bit different than the ingredients, but we're going to get there. So yeah, we have the cran watermelon.
You have Canada Dry tonic water, which I've actually have never had a gin and tonic.
I never
so
had
it makes
either.
sense of why tonic water's here. I understand that.
Now, I'm not sure how good of tonic water this is going to be. I've never had tonic water. Canada Dry is usually the ginger ale I get, so I was hoping. Oh yeah, you found that, huh?
And you brought one.
Technically, you brought it, but
well, you bought.
I requested.
You bought one single orange.
Yeah, I requested an orange.
Yeah.
And to help you out, I got you something.
Okay, hold on, because I had to make sure I pronunciate well on this.
Yeah, please do.
Hunter. Wait, dude, this is Japanese.
Well, they didn't have what I wanted, and I really wanted one for this episode. We'll fix it. But yeah, this is a Japanese version of.
It's a jigger
With a J.
with a J. What's going on, Timmy? Timmy went from commenting on Twitch to commenting on YouTube.
Timmy,
So what's up, Timmy?
Timmy, I hope Twitch was still working when you left. We haven't checked in a minute. But yeah, we're happy to have you on YouTube. You get to see everybody's comments. So welcome to the party, man. Right now, Timmy, if you haven't watched though, we are about to be making our mixed drink that Bronson has no idea.
What's it called?
Mixed drink.
Ah, yeah. I thought maybe I could trick him.
Not that far in. I'm only on my first beer.
Your first beer and your first shot. Yeah. All right. What am I doing?
So you're gonna want to take that cranberry.
Am I doing cranberry first?
Yep.
Okay. How much cranberry?
Get the cranberry first. So in the jigger, you're going to do, so just for clarification, this right here is going to be 1 ounce. This right here is 2 ounces. So with this, 1 ounce of cran watermelon.
Do I need to close it?
Yeah. Now, I'm not sure on our glasses if we'll need a different proportion, so we'll have to kind of go with it. Tonic water. We'll need 1 ounce.
Am I supposed to be passing you the ingredient?
Not yet. You might need help on one. All right. Now, you're going to want that aviation. And you want to try and do 1.5 ounces. So you definitely have to pour a full ounce and then half the next one. However you want it. You got 2 ounces there, so. All right. So now you want to grab that cran watermelon again. And you want to splash in 2 ounces. Now, this is the way they did it. It's kind of helped mix it up together, but we also are going to stir it up as well. All right. So are you still curious about the orange?
Yeah.
So I guess a good question is, do you have anything to take the skin off?
Yeah, my fingers.
Okay.
I got a knife.
Either way, we won't be using the insides of the orange, just the peel. So you technically don't need the whole peel, I guess. You just need a good portion of it. That'll work. All right, cut yourself another one. All right. Now you can kind of follow what I'm going to do. I'm going to just pretty much cover the rim of the glass. Get a nice little taste. You can see I'm kind of going down further than the actual rim, just so like when you drink, you get a full little flavor of that orange. And hopefully it'll hit the nose as well. So you get a smell of the orange as you're drinking. It should have a good combination.
Drop my orange peel off in there.
You know what? Fuck it. I'll follow you. Now, again, our glasses are a little bit different than the actual mixed drink, so they look a little bit different than us actually filling it all the way. But this is the measurements. And we're done. So what would you call this? Or what would you think this ought to be called?
Gin and tonic with watermelon.
I mean, outside of the watermelon, I guess. So gin and tonic is what
Gin
you
and
would say.
tonic and cranberry. I don't know. Cranberry gin and tonic.
So this is called the vasectomy.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Vasectomy. Nice manly drink.
I'm gonna lose my nuts when
Yeah.
I drink this,
Yeah, exactly.
or I'm not gonna have kids after I drink it. Like, which one is it?
Uh,
Because vasectomy, you don't lose your nuts.
You just get a little piece clipped, you know, the part that actually shoots it
So
out.
this is non-manly. So I'm about to not be able to have kids because this is not a man drink. Where did you see
It is
this
a
at?
little- So Ron Reynolds actually made this drink. I was trying to claim it as my own, but since you're worried about it, Ron Reynolds came up with this, or at least
Oh.
he showcased it.
Is he gonna show up? Like, should I have made a third one?
I'm pretty sure he's not showing. Yeah, that ship is sold. You know, I think it's still gone. I don't think it's ever coming back. Hey, not shit. It's just a vasectomy.
So I'm not. So I don't need to make a third one.
But luckily, I'm not trying to lay him. You know, so it's all right.
You won't get laid after ordering this.
So I've never had this. We're gonna see how this goes. Cheers, Ron Reynolds.
Interesting.
That, huh? The watermelon is actually sweet, so it made it a little bit sweeter than a normal cranberry.
I still get black pepper.
A hint of it, but it's more like a
It's
season.
yeah, it's like a season.
It is different for sure.
Interesting. Notice Philip is not commenting anymore. I almost don't like that. At the same time, I feel like I'm gonna have to make a third mixed drink
Might have to go find us another glass.
here soon. We have a third glass. We should have.
Yeah.
We have it over there.
Well, we got it ready. On standby, I guess I should say.
There was 4 of those.
Yep.
We're missing one. Yeah, Phillips MIA.
Which, like he said, he's only
He's
ways
right
away.
down the road.
So first
Let
impressions.
me step off camera for a second.
Yeah, you might want to. So first impressions for me with this, definitely off color, off looks of it. I wouldn't want this drink just because it does look girly. You wouldn't see me holding on to it. But given that Ron Reynolds pretty much made it on camera to showcase his aviation, I was like, we have to do this. This is cool. And I didn't think Bronson would do it with the color, how it looks. So I was like, I'm not going to show it to him. I'm just going to have him make it,
It looks girly,
Yeah.
but I'm also fucking drinking Trulies tonight and not drinking beer.
You got a point.
Just because I wanted something different. I mean, it fucking happens.
Do you get the orange on it too? Because I get a little zest of the orange, which is weird.
I do get that. That's a decent mixed drink. I would.
We normally don't do a mixed drink like this where we actually add ingredients and mix it. We usually just do a soda and then what we're drinking on.
Well, we also normally have to pick what it's going to be mixed with, and we just kind of stay basic white bitches that we are.
Yeah.
So to actually have a recipe and like you to memorize it because you told me word for word, I guess I'm assuming.
I watched it before we did the episode. But yeah,
Turned out really good.
it's not bad. Like it's balanced is the best way I could put it. Like
It's good practice for when we do the Moscow Mule. Good practice for when we do a martini.
Yeah.
Which is also going to be gin.
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of them out there that we haven't really touched up on that was like this type of ingredients for it. But we're not the ones that are just gonna put it down. We'll actually try these out. We're hoping for more suggestions on bottles still. So, I mean, if y'all have a good mixer for something, let us know. We'll try it out. Even if you got to send us a page with all these ingredients, we'll hit it up.
So, since we have our mixed drinks made now, let's go ahead and begin on his career.
Ooh.
Where his career actually had started.
Which is weird.
So, I didn't know this.
Yeah, I didn't know it either.
And I probably honestly won't go back and watch it because 90s Nick, a lot of the time when it was real actors playing in it, it was really drama set.
Yeah.
You had like Degrassi.
Yeah, I was trying to think of the name. Yeah, Degrassi.
One Tree Hill, which wasn't Nickelodeon, but you had those real dramatized shows. It was almost like Nick's version of a soap opera.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
And it wasn't my style. I never really cared for it.
Nope.
But in 1990, he appeared on a show called 15. And it ran for about 2 years.
Yep. I heard the first season, kind of like back and forth, and then it started catching on. I believe they made it through 4 seasons, I want to say is what I read. But it kind of rose in fame at the time for, whoever was watching it. But yeah, I'm the same way. I did not watch 15. I don't know what it was, but everybody has to have their start. And apparently that's what got it. What gets me though is it was Nickelodeon. And it's like, you heard all the bad shit that went down with Nickelodeon. So it's like, was that around the same time?
It wasn't though.
Yeah.
It was early 90s. That was before Dan Scheider.
Yeah.
It was before what was it, Quiet on Set?
Yeah. Before
era.
yeah.
It was before that. Because I believe it was mid to late 90s when they had started all that.
Yeah, you're
which
right.
was the kid version of Saturday Night Live.
Which is what I want to get out there, because a lot of people, they hear Nickelodeon nowadays and they remember all this bad shit that just come out and aired. So yeah, it wasn't with all that. It was before all that, like you said, before Snyder. So yeah, I think that this was actually a safe zone, I guess is what you would call it now. And like I said, everybody has to have their foot in the door with this. So I think that was a good start.
Also think about too, he was born in 1976. And the show was in 1990. So he was 26, or he was 15 years old. Yeah.
Maybe 16, but yeah.
15, 16 years old when the show had started.
Yeah.
So, no, he wasn't.
86 would be 10.
70 was
8,
20,
9, 10.
minus 6. He was 12. He was only, or no, not 12. He was 14.
So 14,
He was
15.
13, 14. He was 13, 14 years old.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
He was 13 or 14 years old when he had started. So, I guess he was a child actor.
Yeah, he was. He definitely was within the age. I would say up to about 16 is what I would be worried for. After that, you're pretty much hitting 18. But yeah, 16 and under is what you want to worry about. But yeah, I mean, luckily he didn't have to go through all that. I'm kind of glad that he hit with Nickelodeon at that time, not later on, because we might have seen a whole different Ryan Reynolds. Because we've talked about it before with Drake Bell, and we've seen all that shit that went down. And it's like, it's life changing when you watch that after growing up with their TV shows and Drake and Josh and the Man of Bond show. Like, it's a whole nother topic on its own that I don't want to get into, but luckily he didn't have to go through with that.
It sucked for him though, because after all of this, he didn't have much success, and he was actually on the verge of just completely quitting acting altogether.
Yeah, there was another TV show that come out. I had it in my notes, but I don't have it on me now. There was a second show that he was on, just like a TV show. They come out with the first season. The first season pretty much sucked. Like, it went downhill. Second season, they had a new writer, I believe, maybe a director. So it was writer or director. They started out and they worked out a better second season. And because of this little transition from season 1 to season 2, he started seeing a decline and stuff. Like, the first season come out, like, he wasn't getting any roles or any offers. So I don't know the gap in between the first season and the second season, but the second season come out and it rose back in fame. But what you're getting at though is that first season. So yeah, so like, it sucked. Like, is what everybody was saying. It went downhill. And because of it, his acting career had just started. So it's like, you're really not going to notice people on a sucky show, so it's going to dive down. They're not going to pull people from it. But luckily he had somebody, come in and take over that show and do a second season and helped them back up.
So he ended up connecting with a fellow Canadian.
Yep.
And had moved to LA. And his first day moving to LA, they wrecked his Jeep. They rolled it and ended up rolling it so bad that the doors fell off.
But you had to ride without the doors, which
for months.
Yeah.
I think to be exact, it was like 4 to 6 months that he ran that Jeep without doors.
Which, I mean, it was kind of common with a Jeep, I guess. But I mean,
But he didn't just blow up when he moved to LA.
no.
It wasn't an overnight thing. He got some roles on some TV shows, but a lot of them were forgettable roles where people didn't even know who he was. He was just, oh, I'll be on this episode. I'm gonna be on that episode type stuff. And to take note of this, he played on shows that you may not have realized that he played on. And some of those shows were X-Files.
Yep.
Sabrina the Teenage Witch. So X-Files, yes, I could probably say I wouldn't have noticed. I wasn't a big X-Files fan.
He looked a lot different too, I will say, when he was younger.
Sabrina the Teenage Witch, though, I've watched that show multiple times through. Like, that was one of those, like, getting up for school shows that would air, like Saved by the Bell, Full House, Boy Meets World. Sabrina fell into that mix as well.
Yeah.
And I don't remember him being on Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
So it's like you said, like with morning shows like that, like you're pretty much hearing the noise. You maybe watch like little pieces here and there, but you didn't watch a full episode. You were trying to wake yourself up. You were trying to get dressed and all this mess, but you're not actually just sitting there watching because you got to go to school. You got to get dressed because if not, your parents are about to come in there and beat the shit out of you. So, I mean, it gets down to it. So
you can tell we're 90s babies.
Yeah.
Like, you can confidently say that on TV, but after the 2000s, it was like,
yeah, it was
you didn't get beat.
You raise the belt, you get in trouble.
Yeah, like the parent got scolded for raising a belt.
So I hear where you're coming from with this. So, like with me, I was Saved by the Bell and Boys Meets World. That's usually what the two are playing on when I was getting up about that time.
Home Improvement.
Yeah, Home Improvement was on.
That was another one.
Yeah, I think that was if I was late. If I was late, Home Improvement, come on. That's how I was like, I'm going to miss that bell.
That's how you knew you were late. School started at 8. Home Improvement came on at 7:30. You're halfway through the fucking episode, 7:45, and you're like, shit.
Yep. But yeah, so like these were minor shows. I did not know that he played in these. I did read over it now. But yeah, it's something new to hear about.
So what gave him his big break though?
So everybody knows this movie, I would hope. It wasn't a TV show from what I read. It was a movie, a very well-known movie. If you haven't watched this one, definitely go watch this.
It was a major motion picture.
Yeah. So again, if y'all haven't watched this, definitely go watch it. But Van Wilder was his successful movie that come out that he is wildly known
They ended up
for.
making a series out of Van Wilder because of this movie. Like it's up there with the American Pie series. It's up there with the National Lampoon series.
I mean, with this movie, it spawned a lot of stuff. And I don't know, with our generation, like our age group and stuff, I feel like everybody watched Van Wilder. Like it was just something that you watch. You were about 14 or so, and you were like, you're hearing about it. You're like, I'm going to watch this movie. And it's one of those movies that you would watch like late at night, hidden away.
It was a raunchy comedy.
Yeah.
And why I compared it to National Lampoons, I compared it to American Pie. Those were raunchy comedies that you really, as growing up as our ages watching those were skin flicks.
Oh yeah,
pretty much.
Which is why I said you watch it late at night.
You watched it late at night, but that's when they came on, because that's when you're watching you're trying to watch HBO and Showtime on your cable TV, and you're trying to get the static to go away that you can see a boob.
Fuck that. I was watching Girls Gone Wild, the little previews that would pop up.
You stayed up late.
Right, the commercials and shit.
Yeah, you stayed up late for the infomercials.
Getting pissed off because they raised their shirts and like words would pop up
He knew that he had to be on Comedy Central.
I think it was Comedy Central.
He had to be on Comedy Central. He had to be on TNT. He had to be on Spike TV. Wait.
I think it was Comedy Central, actually.
I'm letting off a little too much here.
Yeah, you're right there with me, huh?
Cartoon Network, which, believe it or not, because of Adult Swim, that's why it was an infomercial on there.
Like, I was watching a cartoon.
Yeah, your mom walks in and you're like, I was just watching Johnny Bravo, Mom. Like, calm down.
Like they flip back up, like, see, cartoon. Like you got to shut her out though.
Yeah, like you're innocent.
But the bad thing is, like, you have to hurry up, get them out, because then they start cussing or whatnot. And you're like, all right, get out. It's a kid's show. But yeah, I mean, it was the times back then. That was just something that you would watch. You would watch something that you weren't supposed to watch. I don't know how it is nowadays growing up, but for us, that's what it was.
Well, now they just have to enter their mom and dad's birthday to watch Pornhub.
Everybody's got a phone nowadays. They grow up with a phone. You're right.
It's not how it was then, to where like you're on your landline television or your landline phone, and your grandma gets on the phone while you're in the middle of a phone call. Hey, get the fuck off the phone! I'm trying to I need to call somebody. And also, it's not after 8, so you're using my fucking time up on the phone. That call is going to charge me right here.
You know what? Fuck that. Is finding out your grandparents had, or your grandfather had, like the porno mags or whatnot. You find that stash, and you're just like, I hit jackpot. And then you wonder why the pages are sticky. You're like, can't see this page.
I did not need to know this about Pawpaw, bro. Oh my god. He still has that stash, doesn't he?
I might have got him in trouble with that one. I don't know. I forgot to put it back, you know. All right, so let's
Mom's side or dad's side?
I'll leave that one out of it.
Oh, it was mom's side. I'll never look at him the same.
He wants me to give a reaction so I can tell him which one, but I'm not going to do it. I've known him for too long.
Man, I wish we would have just met yesterday.
But yeah, going off Van Wilder, he definitely started hitting up movies following that similarity.
One of my favorites, and I left it off of the list in the docket, was Waiting.
Yes, I love
that.
Waiting.
Was one of my favorites, and it was just because, like, you treat people how you want to be treated.
Mm-hmm.
And that was really the moral of the story. Like, if these people would have treated the employees in the restaurant better, nothing would have fucking happened. But just one day they were like, we're tired of the bullshit. We're being treated like shit. We're going to start doing fucking shit to your food.
I don't think it was one day. I think this is just how it was. Like,
but it had to happen one day. You know, the straw had to break the camel's back at some point.
I don't know. Like, I think it's one of those jobs that you start out at, and you already have people that are at that. They're already there.
They're already at the level,
and that's how you get taught. You know, you show up and they're like, "This is what we do."
But you get what I'm saying, though. Like, the moral of the story is treat people better.
Yeah,
it had a moral.
When I go to a restaurant, I never try to be impatient. Like, you could take as long as you want to bring my food to me. I'm never going to bring it up.
A lot better with this.
Yeah, you were the worst at it.
I used to be.
There's
really
still
bad.
some points when you get hangry and you're like, and I'm like, oh shit.
That's normally why we pick Mexican to go eat, because I get unlimited supply of chips and salsa.
True, I give you that. But yeah, I mean, that's the reason why I'm patient, is because of that
Philip's
movie.
back.
What
He's saying A on the comment section. He's not saying it here in the room. I thought he was literally on the way here. Oh fuck! Welcome back, Philip.
Yeah. Maybe he was looking out for you.
Yeah, I told Jess, I was like, hey, Philip may come over to the house and send him back to the studio.
Yeah, you got a little quiet on us. But yeah, I mean, that movie there was the reason why I've always been patient. I don't ever complain. And that's another thing, is like, when you complain about your food, don't ever send it back. Like, I've learned that too. And it's not like from experience, it's because of that movie. I'm always patient with my food. I'll end up talking to whoever I'm with. If no one's talking to me, I'll grab my phone, I'll get on my phone, but I'm not that person that just stays on their phone either. I'd rather have a conversation at the table with the people I'm with, but as a second option or plan B, like, yeah, I'm gonna pull out my phone and I'm just gonna wait it out.
So a notable mention that I didn't even realize that he'd even played in this movie was Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle.
Yeah.
He played as one of the nurses.
Yeah, I remember
in the movie, and I don't remember. I'm gonna have to go back and watch it.
Yeah,
because I almost like can vaguely picture it. To the scene. Because it was the doctor from Scrubs, right? He was the doctor. He was acting as the doctor. Like, he was like that real idiot doctor trying to get them just to move through type of shit. I might be thinking about Hangover at this point. Fuck.
No,
Movies are clashing.
Hangover was somebody else. I'll give you that one. He might have been on that one though.
I think it was him on that one, but
I'm not sure
I remember
on
him
that.
kind of like rushing them through the hospital.
I will say with him being at
They got
as a
stabbed.
nurse.
It was after something happened in there. It was after the Neil Patrick Harris scene
yeah,
that they were in the hospital, correct?
yeah. I think that was the reason why they were
Because
there.
they left the girls or whatever. Neil Patrick Harris had like fucked them over.
Either that or it was because they got mauled or something. It was something to that extent, but I do remember his character being there. It definitely was straight from Van Wilder. Like he looked like his character from Van Wilder, but with scrubs on. But yeah, I do remember him being on that one.
So I'm gonna give you fun fact, and this is kind of where you're probably gonna take over a little bit on the movie side with Ryan Reynolds, because you know a little bit more on this side of the Ryan Reynolds side than I do. We're both Marvel Universe buffs, but
I went through comics.
yeah, you know a little bit more. This is one of my all-time favorite movies.
Yeah.
One of my all-time favorite series, the Blade series.
Yeah.
So Blade Trinity, this is where he decided, right, that he wanted to be Deadpool.
So how it all started with the Deadpool thing was in one of the comics with Deadpool, well, honestly, I can't remember if it was Deadpool himself that said it or if somebody else was describing Deadpool. But the way it was the comics, I'll put it this way. It was describing Deadpool in the comics, whether it was Deadpool himself or somebody else. They said it was a mix between Ryan Reynolds and like a Sharpay.
And Sharpay.
And
Yep.
that's what the word was said. So he never listened to Deadpool, or he might have been a good, comic person or whatnot. But at that point, he never thought about Deadpool like that. But when it was reading that comic and he saw that line, or however he made it to that point that he read it, immediately he was like, I want to be Deadpool. Just because he said, like, he said
he played a badass role in that movie.
And he said it himself, like, Blade Trinity, he wanted to make an impression for any time that they thought about doing Deadpool in the future, that he would be the very first person that they would think of. And that's the character he played off. He played Deadpool in Blade.
So he played a super badass character in that movie. That entire movie, everyone that played in that movie was fucking badass. All the way from Wesley Snipes, which, bro, the lad Deadpool versus Wolverine, or Deadpool and Wolverine.
Oh, man.
I was so shocked to have seen Wesley Snipes. It was really unexpected. We knew that Blade was going to make an appearance, but we didn't know what Blade was going to make an appearance at the same time.
They made a Marvel movie. I always forget the name of it. It had come out, and at the very end of it, as like a little spoiler for the next, the way that they were going to go, they showed a Blade. I'll say a Blade because it wasn't Blade that we're used to. They showed a vampire with a sword, or a guy with a sword it's supposed to be like a vampire sword or something that's going to turn you into a vampire. And Blade walks up, and it wasn't the voice of Wesley Snipes. So you knew right away that they were replacing Wesley Snipes.
That's the only Blade.
Exactly.
The TV series sucked. I hated the TV series.
That's a whole nother one.
They made another movie.
That was like an X-rated Blade. Is that at that point? Like it was.
Well, there's another one too. They try to make another movie with a different Blade. I know it wasn't the same.
Well, no, so that one was actually the TV series. It was the first couple of episodes.
But they made another movie.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. Like they made a movie, and it's literally the first 3 episodes from the TV series. It's the same guy. They have Blade. I forget what they called it, but then if you watch the TV series, it's one of the old school, plans that they mess with, where they make a movie. In the TV series, if you watch it, the first 3 episodes is the movie. They added like uncut scenes and stuff to give it like the movie aspect. But the TV series is literally the same. It's just more drawn out because they add more episodes into it after the movie.
What if you were watching the entire trilogy of Blade? So you watch the Wesley Snipes trilogy.
Oh, I think I know where you're going with this.
And then you watch the Blade movie, the newest Blade movie,
Yeah.
and then you go and you watch the TV. Like you're doing this all in fucking the same week, right?
Yeah. I mean, you're gonna binge watch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're binge watching this shit, and you watch that last Blade movie that didn't have Wesley Snipes in it, and then you start the TV series, and you're like, man, I just fucking watched this, but it's fucking drawn out, and it's so unoriginal.
What got me was they went with the nudity. They went with more of
Of
the
course,
X-rated with
and
it.
you want to know why?
'Cause that's all they had.
No, because that's about the same time that all this vampire shit started to blow up a little bit. Like Blade had created the path.
Yeah.
Lost Boys created the path. Fright Night created the path. So this is where you get True Blood, to where it's fucking watching a fucking skin flick for the very first season. Every single episode, somebody's fucking. All right. So then you get into Vampire Diaries.
That was later on.
You get
but yeah.
Twilight.
Yeah.
Like you got all these stupid fucking vampire things that just it's horrible.
You know, it goes back to what you said earlier was soap operas. It's pretty much a soap opera with a different theme added to it. Twilight is the biggest one.
You completely have veered off the path, the goal. You lost sight, and you're like, okay, well, we have to reach out to a different audience because we're sitting here and we have, and there is analysis that showed like guys watch more movies than girls type shit.
Yeah, I mean,
and most movies are made to keep attention of people for a certain period of time.
Yeah.
Well, now you're starting to add in, okay, well, we have to add in the teens. We have to add in the children. And so many movies have to be made every year that piques each audience, but that completes each audience all together.
right.
But to completely change the Blade scenario, and I'd never watched any of the newer Blades, and I'm glad that you had brought up that it was the skin flick, because that's really what it was. Is at that same time, that's when True Blood was coming out. And that was HBO's drama of fucking
What was it? It wasn't.
vampires.
It wasn't HBO. It was another platform.
Showtime?
Showtime. Yeah. Showtime had skin flicks. That is exactly what it was. Now Showtime was a lot worse. Showtime, it was just straight porno, and it was just like they toned it down just enough so that they can be able to show it.
You're at that. Me and you were at that age with Showtime that like Showtime was one or two things when we were growing up. Showtime wasn't for its movies.
After Hours, that's what it was called.
Showtime.
Well, Cinemax too. Cinemax was a big one.
But
'Cause that was Skinemax.
neither of those things were made for what they are now, to where like your day-to-day viewer is going to subscribe to Showtime or is going to subscribe to Cinemax. They served two purposes. Showtime specifically. You had two things. Comedy specials, because that's where a lot of these comics, their late night specials would fucking go.
Yeah.
That's where Carlos Mencia started. That's where Dave Chappelle started.
Yep.
Ralphie May.
It was because the platform.
That's where they originally started with their late night comic specials. They were late night comics.
Yeah.
Because
with their routine, like their jokes and stuff, that was the only platform, not really platform, but that was only the time that they could do it. Because any other networks, that's what I was looking for. The other networks, they wouldn't allow them to say all that stuff. It would always be bleeped.
Mm-hmm.
So after hours, no matter which platform they went into, it had to be an after hours because of the content that they were saying.
The thing is that you would pull content from those after hour specials, and Comedy Central would take those, and they would edit them out, and that's where you would end up getting your bleeps.
Yep.
So that it would be to where on cable TV you got this free content on cable TV. Man, I am so glad that we have upgraded life so much to these streaming platforms. They price gouge the fuck out of you though, just like cable does.
But it's still cheaper almost.
But it's still fucking cheaper. Paying for your internet.
That's a whole nother topic.
That's one thing.
Yeah.
Paying for your internet, but then paying for your streaming services.
Versus cable. I mean, yeah, cable, it was an arm and a leg. And it's like you said, you were paying for cable and internet. That's how it always went. And you would always find that one provider that had both. So like you would pay for both and you were just paying way too much to find out nowadays to where you're able to just say, well, screw cable. I can watch the same shit on a platform and still come out a little bit cheaper on the cable side. Now, internet, you're going to still pay a pretty good bit because you got to have a streaming, what they call it, internet connection to be able to support it. But I mean, compared to what we had back in the day, it's definitely a lot better and a lot cheaper too.
Yes. So I'm going to hit on one more thing on the Blade. I'm going to give you a fun fact, and then I'm going to let you kind of take over on the Marvel Universe side. And we'll kind of play around and jump around on some movies. But I'll let you cover Marvel Universe as a whole.
Okay.
With Ryan Reynolds. So did you know that he had to gain muscle weight for Blade?
Yeah.
A lot of that movie he spent without a fucking shirt. Quite a bit of that movie he spent without a shirt.
He got the most hate from that movie. And it wasn't like it was a bad movie because it wasn't. And it was definitely...
dude, I can rewatch the entire Blade trilogy over and over and over again. The worst one was the second one.
Yeah.
The worst one was the second one.
Yeah. If you know, you know. But I mean, with him, that was his spot to become...
And even the second one wasn't bad.
It really was.
It was the worst one, but it wasn't bad.
It was the worst one in the Blade series. As a movie, though, yeah, no, it wasn't worse. There's been a lot of worse movies out there. But in his role, though, his whole goal in Blade, when he showed up on that, was he wanted to put up Deadpool. Like, he wanted him to say, like, if you watched it, like, that right there, he should be our Deadpool guy whenever we do it. And that was his goal. Now, I think he hit it, but it's like you said, he had to gain weight and stuff for that role. And the fucking goatee and shit that he had to do for that movie, he got so much hate on that because of his appearance. And it wasn't just so much as his facial hair, it was his weight too. He looked completely different. Everybody at that point, they were used to seeing him as Van Wilder. He was pretty much in his prime. Like, he was skinny. He was the perfect college guy that would be able to just pull any girl and stuff. Now, when you put him on Blade Trinity, he just looked too different. And a lot of people, they didn't like the look. So he definitely got a lot of hate on it. But his acting and stuff, it pulled for Deadpool. And that's what he said that he was shooting for was, I'm going to play Deadpool. I'm not Deadpool in this movie, but I'm going to do it. But just his overall appearance, you could see that he had changed a lot from Van Wilder to this point. And people just didn't know how to take it.
He went from that scrawny, almost...
like college kid.
The college kid, American Pie style kid. Okay, I have to create a new persona, and I have to look built.
Yeah, 100%.
And to gain 25 pounds of muscle. So think about this. You have to lose body fat in order to gain muscle.
Yeah,
so his BMI, his body mass index, completely had to change, which means his diet, his lifestyle, a lot of how he was living before Blade Trinity had to change.
That's a good thing to point out too. It's like when you say that they had to gain an extra 25 pounds for the role, you're not saying he added 25 pounds.
No, it wasn't like, hey, go pig out at the buffet tonight. You got to gain 25 pounds. No, bro. You got to stop eating what you were eating at. You got to stop eating at them buffets. You got to lose that little bit of pudge that you had. And you got to turn that into muscle.
Yeah.
So you're talking, you got to go hit the gym.
Yep.
You got to start doing more cardio. You got to start eating healthier, less fatty food because you don't want to gain fat. You're trying to lose it. So more than likely he was on a rabbit food or high protein diet.
Yeah.
And shit, could have been on a carnivore diet before carnivore was actually a fucking thing.
I mean, yeah, I mean, you hear all these actors like when they do a transformation, because I mean, that's pretty much what it is at that point. And they all kind of give off their
I'll be
little spill.
right back.
They give off their little spill and stuff on like how do they transform for this character or this role. And some of them are crazy. Some of them, they go all out with the workouts and stuff. And you're just like, that is not the same person. Now, as a character, like, yeah, they hit it. You know, they're there. You know, they brought it pretty much to that point. When you hear what people added on pounds and stuff, it's kind of cool in a way to hear like how they did it. So like with him with doing 25 pounds of just muscle, he actually had to work out a lot. I mean, because going from like Van Wilder's point, he wasn't the most muscled guy. Like he was a good fit. I give him that. But I mean, he wasn't just like muscle, you know. So it's kind of weird seeing like different actors takes on it. Because who was it? It was you might know the name. I can't think of the name. So my name is Earl, the guy that played Randy. Look at him, his stature. Now I'm gonna leave.
I know who you're talking about. I can't think of his name.
I'm gonna leave.
It's on the tip of my tongue.
I'm gonna leave the show out, but I'm just saying the actor, as big as he was, he went through a routine, and it was I think the movie was Max. I know it was about a dog. I want to say it was Max.
Yeah, yeah.
And when they showed him on that film, you were just like, fuck, like that is him, like to a T.
Yeah,
but that's not him.
That dude lost a shit ton of weight, and he was always known for being
big guy,
big heavy set guy.
Yeah. So I mean, the things these actors do for a role, I mean, it's crazy. And then if they actually show you what they did, or at least tell you about it, they do a lot. So I mean, shout out to all of them, especially him.
So moving on to the Marvel universe, to the point that where you're going to take over on this for a little while. What do you feel about the Marvel universe?
So
where he fit in.
So after Blade, sticking with the Marvel part, he made a name for himself. He really wanted to do Deadpool. He was always pushing. If Deadpool came out close to it, he was always shooting for that role.
Did he make a name for himself? He had that one movie.
So with Blade was his opportunity. Now I think he nailed it. That he had the comedy side to it. Then he was given a shot from the X-Men Origins. It was Wolverine's storytelling on this part. And the directors gave him a shot as Deadpool. Now, it wasn't so much Deadpool as it was Wade Wilson. Wade Wilson was his character. It was before Deadpool. They did not want to do a Deadpool character. They just wanted Wade Wilson, which, if you don't know, Wade Wilson is Deadpool. It's just the before
without
all
the scars.
Of it. Yeah, they didn't go into detail with it. So he got to play that version of that character as Wade Wilson. And Wade Wilson definitely talks a lot. If you watch Deadpool, you know this, that he talks. But in this universe for this movie, they actually sewed his mouth shut. So halfway, I wouldn't even get it halfway. Quarter way through the movie, they showed Wade Wilson. They took him away. And then you learn out later that they made him into an experiment, Deadpool, and they sewed his mouth shut. So he wasn't able to talk. He was not Deadpool at that point. But the first part of the movie, like you could see, like that is Deadpool straight on. And everybody hated it because of his character. It wasn't his fault. It was just the way that they went with it because they did not. The way
they portrayed him.
Yeah, they did not get to see Deadpool because they all knew that he could be Deadpool. And, it was a good movie. He even says that. He loves the movie because that was his way in, was to say, like, hey, I'm Deadpool. Now I got fans to support
Stan Lee
me.
knew what direction he wanted that to go. He knew the timeline.
Yeah.
It
was like a teaser. It was a teaser.
He knew how the story was supposed to be told.
Yeah, it was definitely a teaser to say, like, hey, we could do this, but here's a little taste, and we definitely got that. So when I'll jump a little forward, when Deadpool was finally coming out, because I don't know, like, as far as them reaching out to, like,
you're jumping to Deadpool. I figured you were going to end up covering Green Lantern before you covered. Hey, were you going to skip it? Because you saw my note on Green Lantern.
So Green Lantern, not Marvel, this is DC on this part. So he was pretty much given this role because he was trying to shoot for Deadpool. He was definitely want to be like that anti-hero, but he wasn't even an anti-hero. He wanted to be Deadpool. And given with Marvel, he was given a comic book hero. So, I mean, of course, being an actor, you're definitely going to want one of these roles. I mean, look at Iron Man. Robert Downey Jr. started the Marvel Universe. Iron Man was the very first movie that come out like that. You can argue with like Blade and Hulk being like the
I still say the first Iron Man was the worst, but that's a different conversation.
It started. So Iron Man started their universe as what they're now. Because
so many people disagree with me when I say that the first Iron Man was the worst Iron Man.
A lot of movies.
The second one, it was good.
A lot of movies and TV shows, they always start out with the very first, whether it be the first episode or the first movie. It's the storytelling. They got to give the history and all this because there's a lot of people, they don't read the comics. They don't know the background, so they got to lay it all out. So I get where you're coming from.
It was so much boring shit in that movie, but I'm going to digress and let you talk about Green Lantern.
So
my exact note, just to say, my exact note on this in the docket was
Timmy said it best.
Green Lantern was the worst. So my note on the docket for Hunter. So as we're going through these movies, and we haven't 100% hit the docket and it talked about every single movie that's been on the docket.
No.
But Green Lantern, and I'd put in there, worst movie ever, his words, not mine, LOL. Because Ryan Reynolds flat out said that was his worst role that he's ever gotten. He hates that movie. He wishes that movie never would have been made and he never would have played as Green Lantern. He absolutely 100. I think that if he was to regret a movie, it more than likely would be 100% Green Lantern. Because it kind of put him in a bad light.
It did.
But it gave him high expectations leading into the Marvel Universe. Okay, you sucked at this as a hero. Can you actually step up to the plate? And I put the movies in chronological order on the docket. So you go from Blade Trinity to where he wants to be Deadpool.
Yeah, after being referenced from a comic,
And to go in and you play as Wade Wilson in X-Men Wolverine Origins.
Yep.
So right after X-Men Wolverine Origins, you play as Green Lantern. So you kind of tarnished your name a little bit, and people kind of took a step back. They hated you in X-Men Wolverine because they didn't care for how they portrayed you. And then you go into Green Lantern to where they absolutely hated the entire movie. The entire movie from start to finish fucking sucked. That's a movie that's not even in fucking Plex. Do you even have Green Lantern on Plex?
I do not.
I can tell you the last time I think the last time I watched Green Lantern is when it came out.
I watched.
I think it was a one-time movie, and I never watched it ever again. Can't tell you the plot. I know the story behind Green Lantern. I can tell you that story, but I can't tell you word for word how Ryan Reynolds portrayed Green Lantern.
So pick up kind of where you left off. So yeah, he did go into X-Men Origins. It was more so that the fans hated the movie, not the actor, just to clarify. Just because they didn't portray him right. Now, they weren't mad at Ryan Reynolds because he was given the opportunity. It was the show light of saying like, hey, I could be Deadpool. The fans loved that. Then they saw it too. They saw it at the very beginning. Now, when they closed his mouth shut, the fans hated that because they were like, there's so much missed opportunity here. And they were right. I mean, I still agree with that.
It was kind of the show. If you think about it, it was to kind of give a little bit of background on Deadpool to show the torture that he actually went through. Because Deadpool covered some of the torture, but they had already gave you a glimpse of it in X-Men Wolverine Origins to show you that, like, okay, him and Wolverine were created in the same lab.
Yeah.
Sort of. But it was to show that they were created similarly.
Yeah.
and he was being punished in a certain way,
Oh, yeah.
in a certain light, because the character that he portrayed was he didn't give a fuck, and he was going to talk.
Yeah.
And he was always going to be that witty comeback, like fuck off type of person. And so he talked so much, and they had a fucking just.
So it definitely
They
was.
didn't really show that part in the Deadpool series.
No. So
But they had already told it.
you know, with Marvel, they always have the multiverse, and it's throughout DC and Marvel too. I can't, exclude them out.
Yeah, I'm still
So-
pissed off at you because I had baby Deadpool. You saw that in Deadpool.
I thought you were going to
Deadpool
put
and
the
Wolverine.
mask. I thought you were going to put the little mask on. I didn't.
Remy was literally gonna walk around next year for Halloween
little signature on his.
with his signature on the head.
I-
It was gonna be baby Deadpool.
I thought you were going to try to put it on. I thought it was going to be funny as shit. I did not know you were trying to expect a signature. I didn't
Bro,
know he
it's
was gonna,
right here.
I didn't know that you were
It's
hoping he was going to
right-
be here. That was my
I just assumed.
like an ass out of me and you. I mean, going off of that. So
He's not showing up, is he?
No, he's not.
Like 100%.
No, you need to drink a little bit more of your Trulies and kind of get over it, I guess. But so going off X-Men Origins, it was a shit movie because of what they did to him. Now they changed away from that as well. The timeline, it changed completely away from it. They
So
went
no
away.
baby Deadpool.
I mean, Baby Deadpool exists, not the signature that you're hoping for. No. So going into
Would you at least copy his signature and like carbon copy it and sign it?
best I can do is put him behind us, like a little effect that he's standing there, kind of like how the intro was. I could do that.
It's too late now.
It's not. I can change the thumbnail and have him sitting behind us or so. But going with Green Lantern, after that movie aired and stuff with X-Men, they saw the potential that he was wanting to push for comic books. Out of them, they saw comic books. They didn't just see Marvel, and they wanted to include him with DC because DC was coming out with some movies around that time as well. You got to include like Batman and stuff back early, like
the
Tim Burton.
battle.
Yeah, I
That
mean,
battle was huge. I was a major DC fan for a long time. For a long time, DC made better movies than Marvel.
I was a fan of Batman, but I won't say that I was
Well,
more DC. I was still
You
Marvel.
get into Daredevil,
Marvel.
Marvel, that was good.
Yep.
But the Batmans did set them apart. Now again,
Like I said, I was a Batman fan, so it kind of
DC side, you sit there with Batman, and you go Batman Begins, which again, boring. I didn't care for Batman Begins.
Again, that was a storytelling of the background process. That
But
was his
the-
uprising.
The battle
Batman Begins.
So much battle between DC and Marvel, and DC was up to par for such a long time.
Yeah.
Until Marvel just completely grew and ate DC, and DC's to that point to where they had to give movies on two perspectives.
All right.
Like you got Batman versus Superman, and they were struggling so bad because Marvel was just shitting stuff out,
Right.
and they were just giving you content. And so you got the original Batman versus Superman, right? And then they were like, okay, well, Marvel's doing so great. We got to come up with something that we have to do. All right, you know what? We're going to give it from another perspective, from another director. And we're going to release it the same movie again, but we're going to release it from a different perspective. And DC has just completely gone downhill.
You gotta look at it like that is definitely an aftermath of what all happened. So really kind of catch up with you. I still got to go with Green Lantern. Green Lantern was an opportunity to get him into the comic book movie world. Even though he did X-Men Origins, they saw that potential. So they were like, let's keep him in comic books because that was the time when everybody was doing those. They got him on DC side. He was down for it. You know, it wasn't like he was hoping for it or anything like that. It was just, okay, sure. But with the director side of it, they went all CGI. Now, he disagreed with it being completely CGI. And I'm talking about this suit, not him, of course, but the suit and all that, like it was a mess. Even the eyes and stuff that they portrayed him with. He disagreed with that. And then
Not
the
what made it a
direction,
bad movie, though.
yeah. The direction that went with it, like he disagreed with every little step. And that's what he hated about it was they didn't do it justice. They just kind of gave him a shit roll and hope for the best. And that's why he hated it so much. But at the same time, he saw it as an opportunity to be like, okay, it's still a comic book movie. Maybe this can help me get closer to Deadpool. So I'm going to do it, but I'm not going to like it. And of course, like BB said, you know, he tells everybody like, that's one of my hated movies. I hate it. Like, I don't care what y'all think, but I hate it. And of course, like the fans see it and they're like, yeah, this is not the character we want. You know, we want Deadpool. So of course, everybody else hated on it. Now, when you push it to further in with Deadpool, they finally decided.
I'm not going to interrupt you after this again. I'm going to let you go to Deadpool now. I'm just glad you hit Green Lantern because you weren't going to hit Green Lantern. I didn't feel like.
I was going to get there when I hit X-Men Origins.
You had to go in a chronological order.
You got X-Men, Wolverine, then Green Lantern.
Yeah, but you went straight to start talking about Deadpool. But I'm just like,
I was doing
two drunks in an argument. Two drunks in an argument.
I was giving contrast of the X-Men versus Deadpool, but he rushed me. But yeah, Deadpool come out, and it was all because of Wolverine. Wolverine, they finally hit back up on. Like I said, in the timeline, they wiped out X-Men Origins. They completely redid it, and they finally hit up on the not really X-rated, like rated R type Logan that they wanted to hit on. And with that, Deadpool was finally starting to see more light.
Deadpool got the first rated R Marvel Universe movie.
Yeah, because everybody requested, like with Logan, they were like, it should be more bloody, it should be that. But they did not want to come out with Wolverine being the rated R just because they weren't sure how it was going to go.
It should have been. Hugh Jackman was pissed about that. And that's partially why Hugh Jackman fucking was like done.
Well, Logan was rated R. Logan was after Deadpool, of course.
Yes.
But within the X-Men movies, they couldn't make it rated R just for one character.
But you remember... so Deadpool came out, and then they were going to continue the Wolverine series with Logan, and they almost did not want to go rated R with Hugh Jackman in Logan. Like they fought that, really, really hard. Disney alone does not want a rated R movie.
And it was the platform, not really the director. Director's vision was on
Disney.
spot on.
It's not. It's Disney buying out Marvel completely almost fucked the universe. Almost fucked the universe. Because Disney has their brand and they're family friendly and they wanted to be family friendly through the entire process. But there comes a realization that like if you want to follow the comic book, you got to get off.
That one was a shocker when I saw that one, Timmy. Cavill Wolverine, the Superman version of Wolverine. That one, when I saw it, I was like, is that Wolverine? And the way I knew that it was him, he does his little punch, you know. And when he did that, I was like, oh yeah, that is definitely him. That's Superman.
You're talking about when they in Deadpool Wolverine when they were showing the multiverse.
He
of
went
all
into the biker
Wolverines.
warehouse where he's working on the bike. Yeah. So yeah, I definitely that one was awesome because I didn't see that coming.
But Disney almost fucked over the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
They were close on fucking over the Marvel universe, buying them out. The first Deadpool. Completely amazing movie.
Yeah.
Completely set the standard of what Disney could be. It set the standard of what Marvel Universe could be because the first Deadpool wasn't under the Disney brand and completely set a precedent of what this storyline could completely go. Can you imagine a Avengers movie being rated R?
I mean, at the time,
It's not
no.
gonna fucking happen. But like even now,
I was
you're
like-
not gonna get an Avengers movie. Your only rated R movies in the DC or in the Marvel universe are going to be Deadpool and Wolverine. There's no other characters that really deserve the rated R scenario. Everything else is going to be
Yeah,
PG-13, family friendly.
you have to go back on the character origin and all that. So Stan Lee, he has those characters in mind, like Spider-Man.
And I
instance.
misspoke. I did misspeak. I'm going to correct myself real quick. I said that the first movie in the Marvel universe that was rated R was Deadpool. That's incorrect. It was Blade. The Blade series, which were not made by Marvel at the time, they were made by Dimension at the time. But Blade was the first Marvel character that had a rated R movie.
Yeah. So it's one of those things. It's like when you talk about like a rated R movie, you can't just make any movie, especially like with comic books, rated R because their characters might not call for it. Now, like I said, as an example, Spider-Man. Spider-Man is not going to be rated R because Spider-Man is a good guy. Spider-Man is a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. He's not going to be able to, cause that much chaos. And from what they saw with X-Men, everybody wanted Logan to be a lot more brutal, but they couldn't get it because X-Men as a whole didn't call for it. Logan could have called for it. So that was where it kind of sparked a change in rated R because they wanted a character that could pull it off and execute it as well. And the only person at that time would have been either Logan or Deadpool. And just because everybody kept asking for it, they pushed for Deadpool. And they already had their pick on Ron Reynolds because he had been asking for it, begging for it. And he hit the nail right there because he pulled it off. Like, I remember telling everybody, like, Deadpool's coming out. This is a thing. Ron Reynolds is going to do it. And I already knew he was going to pull it off because I was that person reading comics back in the day. I was that person that when I watched Blade Trinity, I did not see him as his character. I saw Deadpool. I knew what he was going for. I was ready for the movie to come out. So when this was a movie that all of our buddies and stuff, we went to the theaters to watch. So I was in there just waiting for it. I was expecting what I saw, and what I saw was spot on. And that was the reason why it went so well. To now all these sequels and all this other stuff is because Deadpool was the perfect character, being portrayed with being acted with Ryan Reynolds. So it was definitely his role. He from the very get go of him reading that little comic book line of it saying like Deadpool is like Ryan Reynolds. He definitely made himself into Deadpool. He was the official character. And I think he was the only one that could have made it rated R the way he does. And he's able to just be himself. Like throughout all the other movies that I've seen with him, he's still himself. But he was always destined for Deadpool because of that.
Midget Wolverine was supposed to be Remy. Now there was a baby Wolverine that was or
Deadpool.
midget Deadpool, baby Deadpool that was salty.
With Deadpool, though, I mean, it was always meant to be rated R when it come out. And I'm kind of glad that it did push back. It waited till its time because I think if they would have shot too soon, they would have not gotten that rated R label. They would have had to push it back and it would not have been the same. There's no way they would have been able to pull it off if it wasn't rated R.
So let's fast forward, I guess, a little bit. Let's hit off the Marvel universe. Let's go into the next big motion picture film that he had played in, and it was R.I.P.D.
Ooh, yes. A lot of people don't know about that.
Super great movie.
Rest in peace, department. Yeah.
And they made two of them, and he played in both of them.
It went on the I forget his name.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, they went back. It was his story.
So the first one, they went back in history. I forgot about that. So, anyways, the first one, Ryan Reynolds, fucking great movie. if you liked Men in Black, you
Yeah.
would more than likely like R.I.P.D.
100%.
Gonna fast forward a little bit more. Hitman's Bodyguard. They have made two of those.
Him and
you got
Samuel L. Jackson.
You got Hitman's Bodyguard and Hitman's Bodyguard's wife. Both great movies too. You can compare those to like Smoking Ace, or he played in Smoking Aces. I was going to say Smoking Aces, but he actually played in Smoking Aces.
I won't even compare.
Red.
Yeah, okay, I give you Red.
You can kind of give Red.
Really, in a whole lot out there. Yeah,
that's about it. Then his most current one outside of Deadpool and Wolverine was Free Guy. So you get the Grand Theft Auto version
of an NPC
character in a movie. And he just decides in this movie, I'm going to stop being an NPC and I want to be the main character.
Right, like they're having a lot more fun.
It's the Grand Theft Auto story. And they're actually making a second one. He is making a second one.
Right on that one too.
This. That would be cool as fuck.
That one, it hit the video game side. So, like, our viewers and stuff, you may know, I know a lot of y'all do, that we do have a good gaming side. You know, we love playing all these different games and stuff. So when this movie come out, it was spot on for us. It was like, oh, he's in this type of movie. They're actually hitting a NPC character side to it, because you never see that. That was a first of a kind type thing. Because you had like Ready Player One, you had what's the game where they go back? Tron
Legacy.
You had movies like that were based on like games and stuff, but not like Free Guy did, where he was an NPC character, which I thought was cool as shit.
I like how they didn't tell you what game they were playing.
Yeah.
What the movie was about. You just had to know. But they gave it to where it wasn't video game based, to where like if you don't play games and you just like movies, then you could watch the movie and you can relate. It gave everyday life kind of shit inside of it.
It made it to where you can understand that it was a video game life. And it's like you said, if you weren't a video gamer, you just knew, okay, yeah, that is definitely a video game. But you didn't know. Now, if you were a big gamer, you could be like, oh yeah, that's definitely GTA. You know, because it was so much chaos, so much randomization and customization to like the players that you would see, just having random outfits and stuff on. That movie was also big on cameos and stuff. They had so many voices that acted on there that it was like an Easter egg hunt that you didn't know. I mean, some of them you could tell, like you recognize that voice. So they hit on a lot of shit in that movie. But yeah, that movie was definitely first of its kind. Sorry if that was loud for y'all. He's breaking up some ice. But yeah, I mean, Free Guy was definitely a big hit. I can honestly see how Free Guy would come out with a sequel with it. I do not know where they're heading for, or where they can continue with, but if they can make it happen, I'm down with it. I mean, these are like some really big movies that he starred in that pretty much caught everybody's eye. Deadpool, of course, is going to be like the big one just because it's Deadpool. But he's starred in a lot of shit that has always been his character. You know, like I said, going back to the very first, like Van Wilder, he was that college guy. You know, going to Waiting, he was that college guy. And then starting with Blade, he was straight Deadpool. You know, he had the sarcasm. He can come back with all these different jokes at you. Like, you talk shit, he's right there, you know, back at you. So it's like, he has grown so much being the same person, the same actor. And to me, like, that's cool as shit. And that's the reason why I related him to Billy Bob Thornton, is like, he's that same person. Billy Bob Thornton is that same asshole. Brian Reynolds is that same person with that sarcasm. He's like the perfect person to do comebacks with.
I hate to see that last drink be poured.
Yeah.
We know that it's getting ready to come to an end.
Yeah, I know.
I hate seeing it. But we got a couple more topics that we're going to cover. I want to let this kind of chill for a minute. I'm going to mix it up, let it chill. So we're going to move into some general conversation. But before we move into the general conversation, a lot of people probably have seen the commercial Mint Mobile. Uh, he was harping on that big
Yeah.
for a minute there. He was the brand ambassador for Mint Mobile. He owned 25% of that company. Uh, well, yeah, they sold out. Uh, they sold out to T-Mobile to be exact.
That's my
Uh, you know how much money he ended up selling for? So he had invested like $300 million when it first started. He invested that much.
yeah.
They ended up selling it for $1.35 billion is what they ended up selling it to T-Mobile. He ended up making a profit of $300 million. So he doubled his investment.
I mean, a lot of people see him as a face on a TV show or a movie and all this, but he was smart, not just with Mint Mobile. It's just like any ads that he does, like say with Aviation, for example, he's always the face. Like he shows
They haven't really branded Aviation a whole lot. He is the brand ambassador for Aviation.
Now. Because at one point he was definitely big partners on. Now he did
he had bought his stake in 2018 with Aviation.
Yeah.
And they ended up selling it.
It was like to a Diego. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but yeah.
But he stayed on as a owner figure.
Yeah, it was a brand
ambassador.
Yeah.
But they called it an owner figure.
Yeah.
He sold his stakes out when they sold in 2020. He sold his stakes out in the company.
Yeah.
But they still considered him an owner of the brand. And he still gets royalties off of Aviation.
But
hence why we're drinking Aviation Deadpool edition.
So what I was getting at with that and with like Mint Mobile is like he made face on commercials. Like he showed it, 100%. Like he kept hitting on it. Like, I mean, anybody else would do it the same. I mean, look at everybody else that we're trying to maybe eventually hit bottles with. Everybody's like selling their bottles. Everybody's got a bottle to show for. But, he made face for it. He respected the bottle. The video I saw, like the mixed drink that we had, he was actually mixing it. This was a YouTube video that we had seen, and he mixed it. And it was something that you really don't see. You see a lot of people just say, oh, get this bottle here, and then they're done with it. He was drinking on it. He was mixing with it. And these are just different commercials. It's not the same commercial. So, he respected his companies. I mean, not his companies, but the companies that he partnered with. Like with Mint Mobile and Aviation, he went for it. And you could tell.
Even though that ice brings out more of that pepper smell.
Oh yeah, that is.
It's heavy. It's so heavy on the nose.
You know what I smell? And it's to me, it makes me think of peppered bacon, just because the bacon is covered.
When I talk cracked pepper, I'm not talking about like you just pour it. I'm actually talking about the one that you actually have to fucking turn the
bougie kind.
Yeah, the bougie kind. That's what it. It smells like pepper. I guess peppercorn is what it would be. It would be peppercorn and whatever else fucking makes black pepper.
Like I said, to me, I'm thinking of like peppered bacon because that's what they use is like peppercorn.
It does smell like the black pepper that the peppered bacon that your dad used to make for like his cabbage and shit.
I would go out and I would buy like still to this day, like I buy like peppered bacon, like strips and stuff, and that smell, like that's what I get off of it. It's not so much like a bacon smell; it's just the pepper they would put on the bacon because it'd be covered.
Oh, that's pepper. That's pepper.
Oh,
that brought out all of it.
No heat.
No heat at all. Yes.
I ate a pepper, is what I just think.
That was peppercorn. That was straight up peppercorn.
You all have tasted this before. You eat something and they put way too much pepper in it, and you bite into one of those little kernels of pepper. It's that feeling.
You bite into the peppercorn.
Yeah.
That's it. That was 100% that. I'm gonna plug for a minute. If you don't mind me plugging for a minute.
No, Marvel, you gave me that one.
So, if you guys like this episode, you like the way that we went with the docket, we had movies, we told you a little bit about the person, we quizzed each other on how what their knowledge was on the person, what they knew. If you liked how this episode went, did you like just seeing BB and Hunter? Did you like seeing that? Give us a comment in the comment section. Throw us a like up if you like this episode. We don't normally plug this way.
No, it's what we're trying out.
Something that we're trying. We're on 2 fucking platforms right now. Something that we've never done before.
Something that we disagreed about with YouTube and Twitch.
I didn't want to go away from YouTube.
Yeah, I wanted to try out Twitch.
We built a brand on YouTube.
We did. I give you that. I always have.
And you wanted to go Twitch.
I did.
100%. And then upload to YouTube later.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, we're leaving people behind. And you're like, I get it, but we gotta grow. We have to grow.
That was my argument. We could gain so much more.
And we got the best of both worlds. We got what we both wanted.
Yeah.
We'll see at the end of the night. We'll get to look at the analytics and see what views. I'm glad of this. We'll get to see where we got the most views.
Yeah.
Not say that we're going to pick one or the other. We're probably still going to do both. We're going to dual stream. If you guys notice, we had no technical difficulties tonight outside of going live on YouTube because they decided they wanted to be bougie tonight.
Which, like I said, this is a new little platform that we're testing, doing a dual stream. So with YouTube, we now know that we actually have to go to YouTube to press go live instead of with
we do
our
apologize,
program.
guys.
We do. We'll get that fixed next episode.
Yep.
It's going to work out.
I just wanted to plug that for a minute.
Yeah.
Because, man.
I'm happy.
We're in the bar.
Me and him are happy because we both get to stream to our platforms at the moment.
Yes.
And we get to put it to the test, like he said.
He wants to grow it to where, man, we got just new people here. And I want to cater to what we've already built. And I guess I'm the old head at this point to where I'm old and
you established already.
I want to stick to what I've already established. Yeah. And you're the new generation and you're saying, okay, no, hey, Dad, we can do better. Even though you're older than me.
You got MySpace and you got Facebook right here. That's the way
that's pretty much what's going on here. But what we're doing right now is we're buying Twitter and we're going to be Elon Musk.
On Twitter?
Well, you said I was MySpace and you said you're Facebook. And I said, so instead, we're going to buy Twitter and we're going to be Elon Musk.
Gotcha. It threw me off when you said Twitter. I was still thinking like Twitch and all that.
Oh, my bad. I should have said X. I still call Twitter, even though it's X.
So, yeah, my argument with him with YouTube and Twitch was, YouTube is, to me, like I look up YouTube for instruction videos. Twitch, I go to watch a live stream. And that was where I came from. And like he said, he built a brand. He's got his viewers and stuff. And I wanted to venture out a little bit. I didn't
build a brand.
You came up with Delta BB.
I did not build a brand. The Delta BB did not grow up.
Which came first? The Delta BB.
But
so am I right?
We did not gain our subscribers.
I get that.
Until Two Drunks in a Bottle.
I just
refused to rebrand to Two Drunks in a Bottle on YouTube.
You're saying I'm right. You just don't want to say it. That's what you're getting at. That's what I'm trying to get out of you. But
we grew the Delta BB to where the Delta BB is.
On YouTube.
On YouTube.
That's what I'm saying.
As a brand. So you got to think about the brand.
I do, yeah.
So the brand. Quadcast.
I get where you're coming from. Which is still on YouTube.
Yeah, still on YouTube. But we may change the name of the Twitch one more time. It may not be Two Drunks in a Bottle on Twitch. We may change the name. It needs to be changed. It needs to be changed to Squad Production. Is what it needs to be changed to. So that anybody that is a part of Squad Productions can go live on that Twitch at any point. The Delta BB will stay the Delta BB because anything that I do, anything that goes live is under the Delta BB. But on the Twitch side, we're probably going to change names one more time, and we're going to go under Squad Productions.
Because we talked about it before we did
Because
Twitch.
we need to start live. We need to dual stream everything that we do.
We talked about it
We
before
need
we
to.
went to Twitch about making a YouTube channel, whether it be that we just change the Delta BB into the Squad Productions, or we just
I
created
was
a
to
new.
that point
Yeah,
to doing it.
I mean, to me, it made sense, like because, like you said, it's Squad Productions. You have all this great content out there. I mean, we could still do it with YouTube. We could just create a new channel and post like certain videos out there. You got your gaming side. Yeah, this is
We will
future
end up
references.
creating a community
Yeah,
channel to where anyone that is a part of the brand will be able to post their videos straight to.
yeah,
Because you can connect YouTube into multiple people. You can
Yeah.
connect it. So we will create a community for Squad Productions, and every time we go live, you'll get a notification, and we can do redirects.
Yeah.
So if like tonight, guys, what's going to happen after tonight is Timmy, who has been in the chat all night,
hopefully
will
still
go
here.
live under the Delta BB sometime next week. We'll go live, and we'll have probably me and Hunter on, because the only thing that has happened in the last week has been 2 drunks in a bottle. Timmy is the host of Aftermath, and we created Aftermath to be able to talk about what happened in every single aspect that we do
And give a
that
perspective.
goes live, and he's that outside perspective.
Yeah, he's our viewer perspective.
He
And
wanted to
gets
be a
asked
half
questions.
drunk so bad that I said, let's bring him in 100%. Let's give him a piece of the pie. Let's give him his own spotlight.
You get all these shows nowadays with a talk show at the very end of that episode. The very next episode or whatever is about to show is the talk show episode for that episode. So it's like we should have one for ourselves.
The goal is to have the Aftermath cover everything that goes on in the podcast world of Squad Productions. Aftermath does not have to be everything that happens in Squad Productions.
Right.
Timmy can bring on whoever the fuck he wants to.
Right. It's Aftermath.
Until Timmy can host Aftermath on his own, I will be the host. And when I say host, it's just I'm streaming it. I don't have to talk. I will just have to be there. But Timmy will be able to bring whoever the hell he wants to on his podcast.
I'm starting to see that. Like when I first,
He can bring people that comment.
He said, really? Yeah, I mean, so when I first started on that episode of the Aftermath with our episode, we talked about the New Year special. I saw where you were coming from as a viewer perspective, and it was perfect because that's what we needed. We needed like an outside review on ourselves. We got to see that, and you can give suggestions, and you did. But what I liked about it too was the next episode, you and BB got together. I wasn't able to, make it on there, but I listened in, I watched it. This was after y'all had recorded or filmed it or whatnot. But one thing I like that you did, you threw a spin on it. He requested to have members of the squad, not the squad, but members of the squad, like one at a time, to come on
That
and announce
specifically,
themselves.
he wants members of Squad Productions.
Yeah.
Everyone serves a role.
Mm-hmm.
2 drunks and a bottle wouldn't be here without Squad Productions.
I mean, look at our comments. Our comments is built from people of the squad.
Yes,
Yeah.
100%. So Aftermath specifically, uh, that goes to show you, like, we want that outside perspective. What you were talking about. We want that outside perspective. Man, you want to be a half drunk. That's what you want to be? Okay. I got you, bro. I have an idea.
We'll give you a part.
I raise my hand and I don't have to ask permission for anything. You know this. I don't have to ask permission for anything. I create an idea and we all talk about it.
Yeah.
So like I don't have to ask permission, but we all talk about it. So I brought all of the squad together and I was like, I want to create Aftermath. That's what I want to do. And everyone's like, that's kind of sketch. It's kind of sketch. You get Eminem's side and you're like, you want to create Aftermath? And it's like, no, Aftermath, not Aftermath Productions. We're under Squad Productions.
Yep.
I just want to create the Aftermath. And
cover Squad Productions.
To cover Squad Productions. Yeah. Anything that goes under it. I want to create something that tells our story from a guest perspective.
And I think
just how you talked about.
I think we have the perfect person for that too, because he is not going to be someone that backs down from telling you the truth.
He is absolutely not going to fucking sugarcoat anything. If he could hop into Discord right now and talk to us, if we had it set up, he would absolutely have already been here fucking an hour ago.
I mean, if they watched the first episode of Aftermath, because we did a half and half, because it was the very first episode, it was Aftermath.
I had to do it.
Yeah. It was a good way to introduce it.
I had to introduce it some way.
Yeah. It wasn't a bad way. It was a good way.
You know how I am. Like, I'm grinding.
Yeah.
I have to do what's best for the brand when it's best for the brand.
100%.
That was my New Year's resolution this year, was to say, okay, I'm going to stream more. We're going to give you more content under Squad Productions. It doesn't matter what we do. And we had gathered the squad up and we said, okay, this is what's happening in 2025. So we're shooting for 2 squadcasts a month.
Yep.
That's the goal. 2 drunks in a bottle. It's going to happen every other week. And that's when it's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
We're going to give you guys 28 episodes. That's the goal, is 28 episodes. We're already behind, but things happen. Then you have the Delta BB Unfiltered, but we added in Aftermath.
Yep.
Aftermath can only happen if something else happens that same week. So something has to happen. We have to have a squad cast. We have to have 2 drunks in a bottle. We have to have a Delta BB Unfiltered.
Yep.
So if you don't have one of the 3 or all 3, then you don't have Aftermath.
100%.
And Timmy wants to do Aftermath.
I mean, I'm down with him. I love him being the host. Like I said, he's 100% honest with you. He gave us so much shit about our New Year's special because he was there. We did film it with an audience, but it's like something that we couldn't have the showcase for. It was a mess, but he was there. He got to experience all of it, and he understands why. But he definitely gave us a lot of shit on y'all really dropped the ball on it. Like, y'all got to do better. What are y'all's ideas? And I love that about him. It helped us see ourselves in that light because we already knew like we fucked up. But to hear from somebody else to tell us like, well, this is kind of how you fucked up. This is kind of where you need to grow. What are your expectations to follow?
It's rough hearing it from like, so you go from somebody that is commenting to like people that actually watch it that you actually know.
Yeah.
And them telling you that you dropped the ball or like, where are you? I've been waiting for something to happen.
How are you going to better yourself on the next?
You guys have not aired. how are you going to better yourself? Like you said,
Yeah.
it's rough actually getting that fucking feedback, and you're like,
I,
I'm trying.
I like it because it lets us know where we sit at, where we stand.
I'm glad to know that like people watch us because I'm talking 20, 25 people ask me daily,
Yeah, people at work.
where
Yeah.
are you at? So like you're at between the two of us, 50 people asking like, where are you? So we know that, man, there's 50 fucking viewers right there that are watching us consistently and they want to see the content. Uh, and taking a break is super fucking rough.
Yeah,
It's
it is.
hard.
And usually it hits us around the holidays. So
And for us to come back strong in 2025, like think about
that's a
this.
must.
For us to come back strong in 2025 and to take somebody's opinion and say, man, you should try celebrity bottles.
And
that brings a whole new spectrum. Next week we're doing the Rock's tequila.
So we are going to do the Rock.
We're going to do the Rock's tequila.
I heard it here.
He won't be here.
No, you won't.
So you won't be disappointed.
I won't.
I'm just telling you, you won't be disappointed. But I'm disappointed in you.
Figure that out.
Fuck you. Still fucking pissed off at you.
It's smarter.
You saying you're smarter than me?
No, I'm saying the Rock was a little bit smarter.
So you're saying I'm smart for picking the Rock?
Really don't know how you got that out of that, but I mean, sure. Yeah.
I'm smarter than him. So Timmy says, I was in a match, so I couldn't comment, but it is exceptionally hard to do my show if I don't have something to cover.
That's another good point. Yeah.
That's 100%. And that's what I was getting at, is that we have to give him content so that he can cover the content.
I kind of feel like that was coming from our squad cast that we did, which we combined it with the game, ATS. We love ATS. We haven't played it in a while, and we knew we had to do
I wouldn't
squad
go
cast.
as far as to say you were smart.
I agree. I agree.
If I was you, I would probably say I'm the smartest of the bunch, if you actually think about it. Okay. Me and Hunter came up with Two Drunks in a Bottle.
Yeah.
But everything after Two Drunks in a Bottle, this was this guy's head right there.
I mean, except for the slab bottle, I come up with that based on a suggestion.
Squadcast. Me and you both came up with Two Drunks in a Bottle.
Yeah, we come up with the name together. And everything. Yeah.
Delta BB Unfiltered. Aftermath.
You never do. That's what.
So I'm just saying is I have continued to branch out with the brand, but no one has raised their hand and said, "BB, you have a bad idea." No one has raised their hands and said I had a bad idea.
That's why we have Timmy now.
We have at least tried my idea.
That's why we have Timmy now to let us know, like, this is where y'all are feeling it, and we can kind of switch over from.
Yeah, but Timmy's going to be the podcast that fails.
Hold up.
No, okay. I know what he said. I know what he's getting at. He came up with. He did not come up with Aftermath. He did not come up with that. I reached out to Timmy and I told Timmy, I want you to be the host of this. And Timmy and I come up with the name Aftermath.
Yeah, because y'all had a conversation. Y'all pretty much had an episode of Aftermath just between you two.
It was the New Year special.
Yeah. That
didn't air. And Timmy had come up with something and I reached back out. He was like, man, this blah, blah, blah. And I reached back out to him and I was like, we need to do something where you give your opinion on what the fuck happened.
Right.
And he, like you had said, he's the best for that situation. Absolutely. He is the 100%. He's the person that needs to. There wouldn't be no half drunk if it wasn't. Yes, exactly. I wish you weren't fucking here so there wasn't a fucking half drunk. I'm sick of hearing about a half drunk. I don't know about you, but I had the third drunk.
Ears are ringing.
Oh yeah, your ears should fucking be ringing.
Y'all heard it. It was a little loud, but
We dealt with the third drunk. All love goes to fucking Philip.
yeah.
But we've been 3.5. We've been 2.5, and it's not worth it anymore. We know we tested waters. We tested waters.
We had good experiences with it. It
I'm
was
just
fun.
messing with you. You guys have good ideas. Just here to make sure shit gets from paper to air without making an ass out of ourselves.
Yeah.
He's looking out for the brand.
Yes.
100%. He's making sure that he has content, and that's where things are going to change. And Hunter has saw it here. There will be dockets for every single thing that we do from here on out.
Yeah.
If you're a part of the Squadcast and you don't have a topic, you ain't got to worry about a fucking topic, because we're going to fucking write a docket for every single thing that we do. The only thing that will not have a docket will be Aftermath. That is the only thing. I cannot write a docket for it. If Timmy wants to write his own docket and send it out and say, this is what's going to be covered, it really shouldn't have to be covered, because Timmy should have his own questions and it covers everything. But dockets are going to be a new thing. Half drunk,
Yeah.
baby. Whoop, whoop.
So I do want to say this, since you did bring up the docket and stuff. I want to let y'all guys know, even though we say docket, I know a lot of people, they hear like
It's
a word
not
for word.
script.
It's not a script.
It's not a script
So,
at all.
to give an example for this, we literally have Green Lantern, X-Men Wolverine Origins, and that's all it says. It's just a movie. Now, Green Lantern was one of the ones that just said worst movie, because that's what it was stated. But everything that we talked about,
The only thing
That was
that
our
like
opinions.
goes into detail was like his first appearance was
Yeah.
in the Nickelodeon, and I'm reading it straight off of it.
Yep.
His first appearance was in the Nickelodeon TV show called 15, 1990. Show ran for roughly 10 years. So we had to base that off of that.
Yeah, we
then
talked about-
after the Nickelodeon series, he continued his career in TV, but played many forgettable roles, which eventually led him to quit acting. So like we literally took that and we were like, okay, so he quit acting. He did this. So
it's called structure.
It's called structure.
100%.
And
With-
this
with
was
drinking
something.
involved, yes.
This is why Aftermath was actually created. I don't know if you know this. This is why Aftermath was actually created. Was me and Timmy had sat down and he was like, man, there needs to be a little bit more structure in what you guys are doing. So
we were all over
for
the place.
one, you guys have went off format,
We did.
which we completely
Which
did.
we apologize for.
We have been back on format, which is why the docket was created. So we have a timeline on everything. We have probably, so I'd set 45 minutes off of the, I had set it for about 2 hours tonight is what I set it.
Yeah, we're probably over.
How far, you died?
Yeah, that tells you something. My phone died, so yeah, we probably are a little over. But I mean, I think we did have a good content. I don't feel like we rambled. We stuck with everything. We followed through comments.
We kind of knew roughly what the timeline would be.
Yeah, I mean,
We're actually to the last point.
yeah, we don't ever just skip a topic. And when we're covering something, especially if y'all are commenting and stuff, we don't just leave it behind. We don't try to overlook something and skip to the next one. We don't want to rush anything. So if we're having a good conversation, kind of like how we are now with explaining it, we do not want to just skip to the next topic. And y'all felt like, oh, okay, well, they really didn't discuss this and that. But at the same time, we do have a structure. We are still trying to like finish it out. This is definitely coming from our New Year's episode and kind of like a realization to us.
For
getting back on
something to
point.
not be aired that was so important, the New Year's special.
Yeah, That was a rough
like
one.
that was supposed to be a tradition.
Yeah.
And did not end up happening.
Which we said we are going to make it up to him.
We're making it up with
St. Patty's
Day.
I know I'm taking off.
It's going to be a fun one.
Yeah. Y'all stay tuned for that one for sure. It's going to be a while, but.
All right. So about 2 hours. So I'd scheduled us for about 2 hours tonight. That's what I had on the docket. I had us about 2 hours. So are we more or less? I don't know.
I would say more.
So we're going to have some general conversation. So, which you know how general conversation goes.
Oh, yeah.
So
appreciate that, Timmy. He had a great time. I love that.
What were your thoughts on the bottle? What were your thoughts on Aviation Deadpool Edition?
So
should we try non-Deadpool Edition? Is it different? So I'll tell you this. I've looked it up.
You gotta already know a little bit of an answer.
I already know.
Yeah.
They have the same alcohol percentage. They just look different. One has Deadpool's face and one doesn't.
I would imagine it would come to flavor profile.
I'm thinking that they both have the same flavor profile. I don't think that the Deadpool edition tastes any different than the regular Aviation American gin. I wouldn't think.
So you know how I am. Like, I'm gonna look it up for myself. Like, you could tell me like that you already looked it up. Which I'm not saying you have. I'm just saying like you could tell me, and I'm still gonna look it up.
The bottle literally looks the exact same.
It's just like a clear, isn't it?
So one's clear,
yeah,
and doesn't have Deadpool at the bottom of it. I am completely assuming, which can make an ass out of you and me.
You finally said it.
I am assuming that it will still have the peppercorn smell. But I could not find a bottle of American gin. I was not going for the Deadpool edition. When I bought the bottle, I was going for Aviation gin. To me, I was not going for the Deadpool.
To me, it made a better content though, but just because we were going to hit on Deadpool, we knew 100% with Ryan Reynolds we were going to touch on Deadpool. So to bring it up here the very first time, I think Deadpool was a good one. I do think we will see Aviation come back on here. It might not be as in like this where we talk a lot about Ryan Reynolds. We might just have a guest on and we have Aviation with us.
It opens up doors, 100%. And this is what every single bottle that we're gonna do. And you disagreed with me on this, but what did you call this episode?
Oh, this one was Wild 'N Out with Aviation. Now,
so I want in the chat if I had a better idea than Hunter, because you called it what?
Wild 'N Out. They know, they see the title. I mean, I'm assuming y'all can see the title, right?
So what was it?
Wild 'N Out with Aviation.
Wild 'N Out with Aviation. I wanted to call this episode Two Drunks in a Bottle, Celebrity Edition, Episode 1.
That makes me think he's going to be here. Maybe that was why you thought it. Maybe that's why you come up with it.
Well, you're the one that told me Ryan Reynolds was going to be here, and I came up with the name Celebrity Edition.
I forget some people can't read. You're right. My bad. Yeah, I called it Wild 'N Out with Aviation.
I know for a fact Timmy can't read.
You didn't tell
anything that I have to send Timmy when it comes to Aftermath, I have to send to him in voice.
That's why y'all saying voice chat. Okay.
No, I have to like read it out. You know how I read to my remote because I can't pick an app because I can't read. And I'm like, open Netflix. I have to read out to Timmy. Timmy, we did blah 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 blah.
I don't really see you in like Discord messages with video, like a voice chat thing. I always just see you in a voice chat room with Timmy. If that,
Why you gotta call us out like that?
You were speaking truth, so I'm speaking truth. Transparency, man. Sigma edition. Okay. Gotcha. So you asked me about the bottle. Going into it, I knew it was going to be different. Like I said, I've had gin before, but definitely not aviation. I didn't know really what to expect. I've never looked up the flavor profile. It's something that me and you've talked about before. We don't really want to know the flavor profile. We just want to get a bottle. We look up suggestions. We hope to get suggestions where we can get something new. Other than that, we go to liquor stores and we pretty much find a bottle. If the owner or whoever's working gives us a recommendation, we'll try.
That's a huge thing right there.
And it's just because we don't know the bottle. That's the whole point. We don't want to know the bottle. But
you've tried gin, so I want to bring that up. Is that you've had New Amsterdam gin?
Yeah, we didn't go that far, Timmy. We knew.
And I've never tried New Amsterdam gin straight. I'm sure you probably have.
Oh yeah.
I've only tried it the way that you have said to have tried it, which was with Powerade.
It's a good mix, and that wasn't my mix. That was somebody else I worked with.
But if I remember correctly, it's a different nose profile.
Oh, yes.
100%. So and I don't know if American gin, because that's what they claim to be, is American gin. So you get like New Amsterdam. I know people drink a lot of
Rum?
No, it's still on the gin basis.
You're looking for a name for a gin.
I'm looking for a name of a gin.
Oh shit.
Seagram's.
Oh yeah.
Seagram's gin.
Yeah.
So you get into Seagram's, and a lot of people will pull a pint of gin at certain levels. So a lot of people like the super dry gin or really dry gin.
That's the thing. Yeah.
Like their gin is on levels, and which is why there's certain margarita or martinis made with gin. You get a dry martini, or you can just have a regular martini.
Yeah, there's different aspects to it, which we talked about.
It's not based off of the olive juice, which is what I thought a martini was made off of. I thought that like, oh, you're gonna pour a little bit more olive juice off in that.
I would say that plays a part, but that's not that reason.
And that's not what it is. Is there truly is a gin?
Yep.
There's a dry gin, and there's an extra dry gin.
Yeah, it gets rough.
And a lot of people that truly drink alcohol, because we've dealt with some alcoholics in our lifetime.
I know what they're talking about.
We've seen a lot of people fucking drunk off of quite a bit of shit.
Yeah.
But I see a lot of people choosing extra dry gin. But they don't recommend that you shoot it. It is extra dry gin is meant for a mixed drink.
Yeah.
And it's meant really for martinis. That's what extra dry gin is for.
It's almost, it's not the equivalent. I'll say that right now.
I can tell you that this does not specify if it was a dry gin, extra dry gin, whatever. It's just an American gin.
So when you come up with dry gin and stuff, like it's not equivalent to this. Like I said, I want to make that very clear. It's almost like a moonshine to where you don't want to just guzzle this. In that aspect, that is where it relates to it. You do not want to guzzle that. You do definitely want to mix it up with, 7-Up, as Timmy said.
7-Up goes with everything.
Yeah, but I mean, 7-Up is a good one with gin. I've heard that one many times, especially with like dry gin. Now, dry gin is something, it's like it's on its own. For me, BB said it earlier, I mess with Amsterdam gin. I've had Seagram's gin. To me, like he spoke way earlier into the podcast. I'm not sure if the YouTube side caught this, but we were going over like vodkas and stuff like that, and he was talking about like he picks like with tequila as well. Tequila is probably the better example. Tequila, he picks like the cheapest tequila, And it's stuff like, it's not because it's real cheap that he buys it. It's just more so that it's the same point. Like it gets him there to where he needs to be. He doesn't need anything fancy, and he'll just get it because it's affordable and it does what it needs to do. To me, I do Amsterdam. To me, Amsterdam is like the cheaper gin, but I still feel everything that happens with it. When I drink Amsterdam gin, of course, it makes me sweat a little bit because we'll drink a whole bottle almost. When I was first introduced to gin, it was a guy at work. He was a heavy drinker on it, and he had me drinking on it. And it was the way that happened was I was a good drinker, he was a good drinker. We just happened to click, pretty much how me and BB did, or how Lip, when Lip come around, we all clicked. We all had that common ground area. And he introduced me to gin, this being the coworker I worked with. And he had me drinking on Amsterdam gin. And it was, to me, it was new. It wasn't like that it was a whole thing, but it was new. Oh, shit. Starting the kid on gin early, aren't you?
Almost.
Tito's, yeah. I mean, like I said, we definitely go with cheap stuff if we can. If it's affordable and it does the job, why not go affordable? Why would you pay an overpriced, Yeah. Now, I don't think I've had that. I've heard of Hawkeye. I know I haven't had Hawkeye. But yeah, Tito's is something that we have. But it comes down to like, if we're gonna pay for this amount, what is it going to do for us? If the cheaper end is going to do the same that it does for the expensive, we're not going to be bougie. We're not going to go far out. We're going to stick with the cheaper end. With gin, for me, Amsterdam gin did what it needed to do. But of course, it's being like the celebrity edition. We're going to try out Ryan Reynolds' Aviation. I was not expecting the pepper. That is something that's new with Aviation, or not new with Aviation, but just new with gin. Most gin does not taste like black pepper or peppercorn. It's a whole different flavor profile. I'll give it that. So we're talking about like going like the cheaper route, and like, is it worth it? And I was just saying, like, if it's going to do the same thing versus the higher end, you might as well just stick with the cheaper end if you're able to afford that. Why would you be bougie and get the higher end of it if it's going to go the same way?
Of
course, I brought you up with like tequila and vodka and all that.
I don't have a lot of opinion on gin.
Well, I brought up the example of like yours with like vodka and tequila. You're going to go the cheaper end because it's going to lead you the same route.
That kind of sucks because it almost makes me seem like an alcoholic at that point.
Well, I mean, you like what you like.
I choose that cheaper vodka. I choose that cheaper tequila. It gets the job done. The job done at the end of the day.
Yep. Well, that's all it needs to do.
Yeah. And it tastes like rubbing alcohol. If you can get your taste buds to accept that, and that's hard on a lot of people.
That's rough.
I mean, I know people that have drank Everclear, and that's their pick of poison is Everclear, and it literally has a warning label on it that says not for personal consumption. It is meant to be mixed with something. It is meant to be diluted. We don't drink alcohol. We do not drink alcohols that are supposed to be diluted. Like, that's not something we're ever going to do. We're never going to drink an alcohol that is supposed to be diluted.
Yeah.
But I know people that drink Everclear straight.
Yeah.
And that is your true form of an alcoholic. When you have to drink something that's so strong that literally has a label on it that says not for personal consumption, that is equivalent to if you take a shot. I've done it. I've tried Everclear straight.
Yeah, I have too.
I've
been the same time
I was
you
told, take a sip of Everclear. I have been told this. Take a sip of Everclear. and I took that bottle and I threw it up
Yep.
and took a full shot inside of my
Gasoline,
mouth, and your mouth will go numb.
Yeah, it's like gasoline.
It's not at that point. You're not drinking for enjoyment.
Oh no.
I don't feel like you're even drinking for pleasure at that point. You're just are you trying? That's suicide.
Yeah, I mean it's
To my opinion, if you drink so much Everclear, eventually your body's gonna say "fuck you." And we've gotten older in our drinking, and I'm to that point in my drinking to where it takes me a couple of days to recover.
oh yeah. I mean Everclear is nothing to play around with. So I get that.
So Remy Ray had to show his presence. He had to show his presence on the camera, and he keeps telling me put him down. He wants to come up. He wants to go down. Me and Hunter know where content can be viewed, and we got the most views off of one of our shorts, having the baby here.
Yeah.
Not everybody in this household drinks, and my wife does not drink. That's why she's the producer of this. Thank you, Remy Ray. Thank you, Jess, for coming on the podcast. I love you guys.
Appreciate y'all.
Anyways,
Like I said, to me, it's one of those things to where if you can go cheaper, it's going to do the same effect. Why not?
It does.
It's not going to hurt you. Like I get the experience.
A lot of people don't realize. So I can get drunk off. Of Evan Williams. So you hit a cheaper whiskey from Jack Daniels, and there's of course more expensive whiskeys, and we've hit some expensive whiskeys. You know, we've had Bullet. We just recently had Wilderness Trail.
Yeah.
We've had Maker's Mark. We've had.
It's been a lot. We've done a lot of shit. I mean, we're on the 27th episode. You realize that, so
trying to name them is what it is. But you can go down to a whiskey so low as Wild Turkey, one of the cheapest whiskeys that you can buy. You can buy it by the handle. And you can get drunk off that. It has the same alcohol content as one of those more expensive ones. You can get drunk off of what your poison is, and you got to choose what your poison is. If your preference is the cheaper, and I normally go the cheaper side when it's my day-to-day drinking.
Yeah, man. Why not?
And that's the way it should be. It should be, okay, what is your most value in your drinking? What is going to give you the most bang for your buck? You got to stop thinking, okay, hey, this guy's drinking the Yellowstone whiskey and he's drinking Bullet, and I'm going to buy that, and you're buying a fucking $30 bottle every single time.
See, this is where it gets to be an experience versus to an everyday use. If you're just looking to have a good time and drink on something, why not go the cheaper route? You're not looking for anything else. You're just looking to get there. So yeah, definitely go the cheaper route. You're not going to get hated on. But at the same time, if you're looking for an experience, if you really want to try something, I get that. Yeah, you might spend like a once, maybe every other month or so, a good $80 bottle.
Taste, I'm not looking to get fucked.
Yeah, I mean,
sure.
So I mean, if you're looking
for taste,
yeah, if you're looking for experience, I'd give it maybe every 2 to 3 months. Buy you an expensive bottle. Buy you something like an $80 bottle that you want to try.
I ain't going over $60.
Well, I'm just saying
$60 a bottle.
I'm saying
that's rough.
I'm saying for an experience. Like if you really want to try this one bottle, that's your goal. You haven't had this bottle, but you really you got your eyes on it. You want to shoot for it. There's nothing else that's going to get you there. Now you can try if your goal is to just get there, like get drunk or whatnot. Yeah, of course. But if you want to get that experience, you're going to have to buy that bottle at least once.
So
So it
overall, would you rebuy Aviation?
As an experience, it was good. If I really just want to drink gin, to me, I would go Amsterdam. Just because for me, like I'm not going to drink for the flavor. Like the peppercorn is a nice touch. It's something different. I give you that. Maybe buy a bottle just to keep around, and then if somebody comes over, you get them a little shot. You get to let them try it out or whatnot. But am I going to just drink on this as as a everyday thing? No, I'm going to get Amsterdam. I'm going to get something cheap that I have as gin that I will drink on. But yeah, as this is an everyday use, no, I'm not.
I can agree with that.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it comes down to is everyday use versus experience.
Do you want to have the celebrity bottle? And that's what we're doing right here is, do you want to have the celebrity bottle, or do you want to drink what is relevant?
Yeah. Everyday versus experience. Yeah.
I would rather drink every day over relevant. 100%. I'm not drinking to be relevant. Yes, we are drinking on a podcast, so we are drinking to be relevant.
I would call it experience. Like it is weird to say relevant. Like it's the experience for that bottle. Be relevant to me is like something new. Like Aviation's been out for a while now. We know that. So I mean, I get where you're coming from, but yeah, I would say experience on it. But yeah, I mean, I totally agree with you. Like if it's everyday use, no, I would not do it. Experience, yeah, I would love to try a bottle. Just try it once, which is what we're doing here. But yeah, I'm not going to order it again.
Careful. Dude,
it's
you're going to piss me off again. What the fuck? He's sitting there, careful. Ryan Reynolds is listening. Where is he? Where the fuck is he?
Ask Timmy. Timmy apparently knows.
Where the fuck? You told me Ryan Reynolds. He's pissed me off again.
Is what?
Where's Ryan Reynolds at? Where's Ryan Reynolds at? You told me Ryan Reynolds was going to be here.
No, I did not.
You said we're doing the Ryan Reynolds bottle. That's what you said.
Ryan Reynolds bottle. And you somehow got Ryan Reynolds is going to be here off of Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah,
bottle.
because you said, oh, I got the guest.
You picked out the Rock's bottle at one point. I did not say that the Rock was going to be here just because you said we're going to try.
It never was on there.
It wasn't, but we talked about it on this podcast. That
you told me Ryan Reynolds was going to be here.
No, I did not.
You did. You got the wrong address. He thought we were meeting at... Wait. Ryan Reynolds in Iowa? I'm about to be fucking pissed at you.
It ain't my fault if half
you gave him the fuck... Wait, who scheduled him?
I never scheduled anybody. If half drunk scheduled him, that's on him. I got the bottle. Did you... Timmy, we're about to be pissed if you actually got Ryan Reynolds.
I'm about to fucking fight you right now, bro. You don't about to go viral.
Be careful. I got 2 eyes.
Fuck you. I got one and I can hone in on it.
Not sure if y'all can hear what he's saying. He is a little ways, but he is loud, though. He's loud. He might cover.
Tired of your fucking shit. Wait, so he's there? Wait, is he there?
Timmy, what does B mean? I get that I did my...
My bad.
That's short text for my bad now?
My B? Bad? I'm just assuming.
I mean...
You know what I've got out of fucking assuming tonight?
You did a lot of that this episode, yeah. But yeah, I mean, overall...
Are you going to apologize to me at some point?
No, because I never told you he was going to be here. I said we were doing that Ryan Reynolds episode.
You know I'm going to bring this up for a minute.
Yeah, I imagine. But overall, what do you think? Because I brought this to the table because of a suggestion, in-person suggestion from my job.
Yeah, in-person suggestion was supposed to be Ryan Reynolds himself.
From like I said, from my job, someone told me about this is something that we should try out. I brought it to you as being a partner.
You know what? I hope Ryan Reynolds is watching this. Hands down, this is the best gin that I've ever had, and that was his words.
I love
And
the
I'm
black
just gonna
pepper.
say the same exact thing that he said. And I love peppercorn.
I agree. I mean, at that point, I agree. But so I brought this.
On a serious note,
I brought this to the table. What is your expectation of this type of podcast? Like, is this going to work? Like, what do you see?
So for one, on the liquor itself, I enjoyed it 100%. It wasn't heavy on the shot. On the shot, it was heavy on the nose. It
Yeah.
didn't have a whole lot of burn.
The shot did.
Sitting at 42% alcohol content. It was a great aspect of flavor profile. It gave its flavor profile straight off the nose, and for something to give it off the nose and to taste like it tastes
True.
off the nose is completely amazing. The mixed drink, you chose that perfect doing what you did.
Which I copied off Ryan Reynolds.
So
Just putting that out there.
that part was completely great.
Shout out to him.
You made a good call on the watermelon because you don't like
Grape or apple.
or you don't like cranberry.
I can
you
do
don't
cranberry.
like apple, and you don't like grape.
So to give transparency on that, like we almost went with the cranberry, but it was going to be diet.
Yeah, I didn't want to do a diet.
To me, I said, we were going to have, the bottle itself on top of it. So I really didn't care too much on it. But you didn't want to do diet, which I got, it made sense.
And then over ice, it brought out more of the pepper.
Yeah. I tasted a lot of pepper. I tasted
it brought
the
out
spice.
the peppercorn. It gave the spice,
Yeah.
but it had no heat.
No heat, but
there was
spice.
no
It was
heat
spicy.
At all. You couldn't taste that it was 42% alcohol.
No, I wouldn't even brought that
We've
up.
had alcohols that
It burned your tongue.
They have a certain amount of alcohol in them, and we've dealt mainly with bourbons and whiskeys.
Yeah.
And that's kind of been our thing.
Which is why we brought the infinity bottles out to clarify which ones we were going to hit on, just so we can split it up. Yeah.
We've dealt with it.
Timmy.
But overall, the entire bottle was great.
Yeah.
The idea of the celebrity bottle, I think, is a great idea. I think it will lead us into conversation that is more natural.
It does.
It's not having to come up with topics. It's okay.
It's centered around that person.
We're centering around this actor
or whoever it may be.
Music genre.
That person, yeah.
Just around that person. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
It's to give content, and I've already plugged it once. If you guys liked it, if you guys liked the format that we did tonight, let us know that you liked it. Give us thumbs up. We're going to talk about it in aftermath, so you can do it again.
You okay?
You can
you
thumbs up. I have so much hiccup right now.
You do. I mean, I was like, you're doing the right thing. You're speaking the right words, but I mean, I just keep hearing the hiccup. I'm like, are you good? But I mean, yeah, I mean, I totally agree with you. Like when this idea was brought to me, at work, they were like, because I always get my ideas, I come to you with all these different suggestions. Normally it's not like a bottle. Normally it's not like this. Normally it's just like a critique almost. Like they'll say like, hey, y'all were talking a lot about this, or y'all kind of went over, and they'll just kind of let me know. And I understand then. I'm like, okay, let me relay it on to him, and we'll come up with an idea to kind of better that solution. Now with Timmy, Timmy's like that person who's going to let us know too, which is perfect. We needed that.
But speaking of Timmy, he said, Kiss Ass is already upset.
Yeah.
I'm fucking pissed, bro. Like, dude told me fucking Ryan Reynolds was going to be here.
Wait, which one?
I'd like it more. Me.
You? Okay.
Yeah, that's directed towards me. He's always wanted to be my priest.
But yeah, I mean,
that's a whole nother fucking conversation. We've had that conversation to where I have that fantasy of having
the finger up your ass.
I mean, Never mind.
Yeah,
Never mind.
that's kind of out there, but but yeah, I mean, for me to be able to get a suggestion for somebody at work, that meant a lot to us as as our podcast, because we don't really see too many comments that give us a suggestion. Yeah, we do have an active comments. We love everybody that's been here, everybody that's commented, but it's like we never get suggestions. So like to hear an actual suggestion, because I think this is one of the first that can actually be a thing. I actually like this. Because, like you said, it's centered around the person. It's centered around the bottle as it should be. It's like it all works hand to hand, and we're able to do a natural conversation. It's not more of, okay, we got to do a drunken story. We got to find something else. Like, say when we had a guest, it was something that we try to introduce gaming, but sometimes we forced it on to guests. We saw that with other episodes. But with this, like, we're just talking about that person. Anybody can, yeah. But
Can't wait till that gets brought up on fucking Aftermath. That's gonna be That's gonna be. How do you lead into that on Aftermath?
Don't ask that because he's about to
Yeah,
tell
I know.
you.
He's gonna save it for Aftermath.
Yeah, save it for Aftermath. Too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's perfect for us because we have a more natural conversation. Everybody, if you're joining in and you know of this person, whoever it may be, you can actually comment about it and we'll actually read it off. And it's more natural that way. You don't actually have to think of what we're talking about to try and make a connection. Everybody knows who Ryan Reynolds is. As he said, everybody knows who The Rock is. So it's like
next week.
That's what I'm saying. Like, well, if we do that one, like, y'all know who The Rock is. Anybody can chime in on these type of episodes. And it's something that I think we are going to hit more on. I mean, you would agree. I would assume making an ass out of me, but
we've kind of already talked about it.
Yeah.
You're gonna have more celebrity bottles coming.
I feel like we kind of ran out on drunken stories, so it's
not only that, but it's to a point to where we can say that, okay, if we can't schedule a guest, then we're gonna do a celebrity bottle. That's what's gonna happen.
I said it before. Like, I feel like it's easier to talk about and stuff. Like, not that you had said, not that we don't have anything to talk about, which I do agree. But it's like at the same time, it's one of those, it's just easier and it invites more people.
What do you guys think about the docket?
That's not a good one.
How did you guys feel about the docket? Do you enjoy having that more structured content to where, like, we had time limits and we said it was going to happen? Yes, we're going to go over that time limit.
We're having a conversation. We're talking.
We were scheduled tonight for 2 hours. We're over 2 hours at this point. We know we're over 2 hours at this point, but we've kept up on the topic at the same exact time.
And most important, we're not drunk. We're not obliterated. You can hear us clear as day. We're actually having a conversation that people are able to listen to and actually add into. We haven't seen a whole lot other than Timmy. Timmy, we do thank you being here with us. But I mean, you can understand us. We're not just all over the place. I'm not passed out on the floor.
Last episode he passed out. It's unaired.
Well, no,
New Year's special. He passed out in the fucking hallway, and Lip took over as second drunk.
Now, I will say I did pass out. I did fall, and then after that, I went and used the bathroom, and I passed out on the couch. Just to clarify,
you had to be carried.
I wasn't carried to the couch. No.
No, you were carried to the couch.
No, I wasn't.
You were carried to the couch.
I went to the bathroom. It was
You can disagree, but me and Lip were there, and we carried you to your resting place.
I have video proof of y'all talking about how I made it to the couch. So I mean, I can show clips on this. Like, that's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Anyways,
we're not mumbling. Exactly.
You're not mumbling. You're good. Passed out to me. I passed out on me twice now.
I did.
He did. He did do it.
I said it myself. He didn't bring it up. I brought it up myself.
It's the ending point. We finished we finished the last drink. We normally don't do that on air. We normally finish the last drink afterwards. We'll take a sip. Normally end it. We have to end this.
Yeah, we had a good conversation.
It's coming to it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
Even though you weren't here, and I'm pissed off because you were supposed to be here and Hunter fucked me over. I appreciate us having something to talk about. We had Ryan Reynolds as the first celebrity guest tonight. Fuck you, Hunter.
If any celebrities are out there that watch one of our episodes, we love to hear y'all's feedback as well. Let us know what y'all think of y'all's bottles, even if it wasn't something that y'all made, if y'all just partnered with it. Let us know. I mean, we're giving y'all's reviews out there. We love to hear back from y'all as well if you can. This is definitely for our audience, but we also want to give a shout out to y'all. So I think this is a good point. So shout out to Ron Reynolds with Aviation.
Till next time.
Next time.
I'm the motherfucking Delta BB.
Our last leprechaun, aka Hunter.
We'll catch you.
Later. As y'all know, my phone did die, so I will have to go to my computer. Love y'all, guys.
Timmy, we'll meet you in the aftermath lobby.